All good here, Chris?
Možná si chtěl, ať věřím v sebe, a tak se modlí.
You got me there, Rob? Tony's over the other side with the mic, I think. Yep. All good. Ready to go. Welcome to Windsor Park here in Launceston. It's TSL action this afternoon between the reigning premiers Launceston and the visitors Glenorchy. The Blues had a big start to the season, including a romping victory last week at North Hobart where they kicked 13 goals in the third quarter. They're taking all before them in season 2021. Against the Pies, they've had a bit of an up and down season. They lost last week to the Tigers, but they're sitting around the edge of the final four at the moment, and they want to put up a good showing here at Windsor Park. Good afternoon to our co-commentators this afternoon. First of all, Luke Grabarczyk. G'day, Barch.
Thanks, Foz. Wonderful to be here. Cracking Saturday afternoon in Launceston, so I'm looking forward to this contest.
And Maxie, welcome. You've taken the trip from Hillwood where you're doing a bit of umpiring this morning, and you've joined us here at Windsor Park.
Yes, had NTFAW down there this morning, Foz. A couple of nasty injuries to a couple of Hillwood girls, so speedy recovery to those. And looking forward to a good game of footy at a very good-looking Windsor Park at the moment. Absolutely.
Our stats man today is Dave Gruber. Good afternoon, Grubs. We'll see your stats during the day. And we've got our two boundary riders today, Tony Webb and Rob Soward. And Tony's been out at the toss and is having a look at the conditions down there, which I dare say are absolutely beautiful.
They're superb. Have you got me?
I've got you, mate.
Yep, sorry. Very superb out there. Very light breeze, just blowing sort of in this direction, so to the eastern side of the ground. Glenorchy have won the toss and they're kicking to the city or south end of the ground. I really don't think there's much advantage either way. We'll see if the wind crops up later. Ground's in very good condition. A few bumps down in the goal squares. They need a bit of work and right in the centre. But the umpires have worked out where to bounce it, so that's a good thing.
Fantastic. And as sometimes happens here, look like we're going to start a minute or two early as the teams are now breaking up. But speaking of changes, no late changes today, Maxie, but some big changes during the week to the Pies. The likes of Tom Cleary, Sam Rundle, Harrison Gunther, who played with North Melbourne the other night. So they're big outs for the Pies.
Yeah, they certainly are, Dave. Very experienced and quality players, and they're the type of players that Glenorchy need for the youngsters to feed off, the young blokes that they're bringing in. Obviously, their development league didn't go all that well today against Launceston, who are an extremely strong D-League outfit at the moment, but Glenorchy are a pretty proud club, and I was just thinking about it on the drive in this morning about, this afternoon, just about what their club stands for, and one of their new recruits, which we shared the information amongst ourselves earlier this week. He's very impressed with the quality of the club, the quality of the people, and they'd be they didn't come up here today to lose, so they'll be giving it all, and hopefully we see a fairly good contest.
And the player you're referring to there, Doreen Wyatt, he's had a couple of weeks out. He copped a knock against Clarence a couple of weeks ago, but looking forward to seeing him this afternoon. But you haven't seen, I don't think you've seen either of these teams in the commentary box this year, but we're looking forward to a good contest.
Yes, I was fortunate enough to catch North Launceston round one, Dave. Just came up and had a look at that game, in which Launceston are obviously very impressive, and they've continued that form on, obviously, in latter weeks. But as we've said, massive challenge for Glenorchy here this afternoon.
And as he did last week, Max, Michael Musica, a bit of on-ball time in the absence of Jake Hines, who's coming back from suspension next week. And haven't Poulfreeman and Blackberry been in great form?
Yeah, both 30-plus possessions last week. And a lot of contested ball in it as well, Dave.
Absolutely. We're underway here at Windsor Park. Here's Luke Grabarczyk for City Park Radio Sport.
About to get underway. The umpire had a crack, but he'll do it again. Bounce didn't work as well as we might have thought. So ball's thrown up. Away we go. Saturday afternoon, Windsor Park. Lovely afternoon in northern Tasmania. Music had got a handball away. Leadham took it nicely. Hurried a kick inside forward 50 and coming up and taking the mark. That was Glenorchy. Goes towards full forward. Thorpe got hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Goes over the back, out of bounds. 5 metres around from the behind post. Launceston deep into attack early on.
Really good advantage for Launceston when you can kick the ball deep and have Cody Thorpe doing the ruck, and Glenorchy can just drop him back in across loose half forward there.
He probably would have been disappointed he didn't snavel that one really, Max, in the end. Ball's thrown in, and we'll have a secondary stoppage. Blowfield comes up from the bottom of the pack. Thorpe up against White. We heard Foz mention a moment ago. Ball at ground level. No one able to take it cleanly. Quick kick out of there was from Taylor. Only as far as Nicholson. Has a little bit of time now. Goes across the ground to the outer side. Had a player on there in Whitford. Paddles it to his advantage. Pressure comes now. Glenorchy arrives. Works alongside Brown. Brown turns onto the right boot and sends a high ball to 30 metres out directly in front. But taking a nice mark going back was Blowfield.
Blowfield switches play. As the big fella wide over there. He goes short, not a great kick. Clean bowls both players over there. He's got the bit of recovery. Launceston player caught high. Free kick. Wait for him to merge from the deck there. It looks like it's Morris. Morris kicks inside 50, straight back to Wyatt. The big fella takes the mark in the back pocket. Looking to switch. He's got an option over here in Camerick. A lot we on the shoulders today of Ben Camerick, experienced player for the Pies. He switches back into defensive goal square. They're taking their time out of defence here, Glenorchy. Short kick. Back looking for Camerick. But the kick now on the left boot. Trapped there by Nicholson. Sideways to Rybelt. He takes it. He's confronted. A sideways hand pass. Only as far as Dowling, who can't pick it up. Little handball over the top. Now to Woolley. Woolley to Smith. Round the corner. Kick semi-smothered there by Joseph. Ball taken here by Denellen. Shrugs a tackle. Kicks inside 50. Diving mark. That's a terrific mark there to Polfriman. He's taken the mark. About 40 out.
He took that very nicely.
Yeah,
It was almost with the
absolutely.
fingers up to the sky, like a slips catch diving away someone in the gully.
Yep, that's a good comparison there, the slips catch, definitely. So we're right behind this one, in the forward pocket. Listen to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5. Dave Moore, Luke Grabarczyk and Max Walker, our boundary riders today, Rob Soward and Tony Webb. Here comes Polfriman, tough shot, right on the boundary, crosses the paint of 50 now, skips into his work. Delivers, beautiful goal. Is it to Polfriman? Yes, it is. Terrific shot from the boundary line. Great mark, great goal, and they're up and running here at Windsor Park. The Blues, 1 goal straight, 6. Glenorchy yet to score.
Very good finish there by young Brodie Palfreman, and it all came from just the forward pressure that the Lonnie Footy Club were applying. I reckon, Glenorchy had 6, 8, 10 possessions there. Ball only travelled 30 or 40 metres. They just couldn't get out of Launceston smothering the ball into their forward line, and a really good kick by Denellen to see Palfreman out of the corner of his eye there too. Deep in the pocket. I didn't think he would have been that good a kick, but he surprised me, and it's on the board and it's in the book for his name. So great start to Launceston.
Just before I hand over to you, Barch, Launceston 25-13, 163, defeated Glenorchy 3-4-22 in the D-League.
Play restarts in the middle. The goal kicker Polfriman got the clearance. Put it a high ball out towards the wing. Smith was unable to take the mark, had it spoiled, but Blackberry was there to mop up. Goes looking for Gronoweg, and kick was a little bit too strong over his head, and it goes over the boundary line where the 50-metre arc intersects the line, almost from the spot where Polfriman goaled moments ago. Ball to be thrown in. Deegan up against Groenewegen. Groenewegen won the front spot and won the hit out. No one able to take it cleanly, and we'll have a secondary stoppage. Umpire says, I'll throw it up, boys. 45 metres out from the Launceston goal. They're 1 straight 6. Glenorchy yet to score. Early going here at Windsor Park. Deegan right down, probably getting a push in the back. There was Nicholson. Umpire unsighted. He says, I'll be forced to throw it up once again. Glenorchy getting numbers up the ground early on, Max.
Yeah, they are. They've just got to try and find a few loose ones. They're getting plenty of the ball, but just not being able to penetrate the defence of Lonnie Footy Club.
Yes, they've set up a pretty tight zone here at the moment, Launceston, keeping the ball in their forward half. We'll have another throw in between wing and half forward. Launceston in attack, broadcast side of the ground. Leadman to compete against the big man in Deegan. High throw in. Leadham one front spot and then went and got it on the ground. Did well, the big man. High ball off the right boot, though, is out of bounds on the full. Into the car park, and Glenorchy will take the relieving free kick from their defensive back pocket.
So Glenorchy haven't really been outside in their forward half just as yet. Short kick, not bad. Lead up there is Deegan. Can't take the mark. Well sport there from Leadham.
I reckon if that was in the AFL, Foz, that would have been a free kick. It doesn't take much to get a free kick for the man in front these days in the AFL, but play on called there.
So looking forward to seeing some of these young defenders today. Brady Simpson, who kicked that ball with the ponytail there, one of the young players working his way into the Glenorchy senior team. Leadham over the back. Webb's there. Bit of volleyball going on. Nice little tap over by Leadham. Ends up there with the Pies. Kick by Nicholson. Barely 15. The mark taken by Wright. Plays on straight away, right on the boundary line. Kicks inside 50. Thorpe's there. Riley's there. Thorpe at the back, nearly dragged in one-handed. Riley on the follow-up. Right foot shot for goal. Through. That's their second. And geez, cat-like when the ball hits the ground is Dylan Riley. And he kicks a second for the Blues. And they're up and about 2 goals straight, 12. Glenorchy yet to score. Just the recovery there, Max, of Dylan Riley.
It was the recovery, but I was more impressed with the ruck work of Leadham. Like, they've got an abundance of ruckmen at the moment, this footy club, when other clubs are screaming out for anyone above 6'2". You've got Leadham, you've got Thorpe, you've got Glenorchy, you've got Mitch Thorpe to come back in. It's just amazing the depth that they have at the moment.
Yeah, he's been very impressive early on, Max. I wasn't, or the round 1 game, he didn't play that game, but he started today off in excellent fashion.
He has, yep.
And Riley last week, of course, was electric, kicking 10 goals. In the middle, Deegan. Leadham again wins the tap. Almost sharked away there, though, by Riley Best. Now back to Deegan, to Best with the long sleeves. Tries to get round, does. Scrubby old kick towards half forward. Handball comes over to Nicholson, to Camerick. Over here to Rybelt. This is good link-up work from the Pies. Their first inside 50 goes wide with a kick here towards Webb. Too wide. Spills out of bounds forward pocket. We thank our sponsor. This broadcast today is brought to you by Gas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Here's Luke Grabarczyk for City Park Radio Sport.
Magpies into attack. Forward pocket for them. 25 metres around from the goal. Ball is thrown in now. Taking it out of the ruck. Well, Launceston, they hurry to kick up towards the wing. Pitcher was unable to take it. Blowfield turned back into a pitcher tackle. He was wrapped up immediately and he's rewarded with a free kick. He'll take it from half back. Has Miller Hodge on short, ignores that and goes a little bit longer towards Glenorchy, but carrying across and taking the mark behind Glenorchy was White. Squaring ball, dangerous, back into the corridor. It's all Launceston there. Taking the ball on the half volley. Handball came out towards Miller. He dropped it. Nicholson came through, gave a handball back, and they're going to attack once more, the Magpies. Kick to the outer side. Looking for the forward man there in Daly. Gathers it now, tucked up against the line. He ran out of room, in fact, on the 50-metre arc, and it will be thrown in. Magpies threatening here in the last few minutes, but lucky to get away with that ball back into the corridor there, Max.
Yeah, it was very dangerous kick by the big ruckman, and luckily it came off for them. A couple of good handballs, break the tackle there. I think it was Callan Daly, using his pace that he's renowned for, and they've got their first inside 50, I think, groups.
Rubes is nodding there as we're inside 50 now with Glenorchy in possession. Now we've got a whistle on play. It's going to be a Pies free kick, probably outside scoring range. So just trying to pick up the player's number there. Looks like number 38 maybe, Riley Best. I can see the 3.
Be right on his range, Foz. He's kick from 50.
In fact, it's Meredith who goes short. Finds a teammate there who takes the mark in Riley Oakley. So getting the ball there was Cooper Meredith, number 31. So Oakley, first shot on goal for the Pies. They just need a settler. Had a good couple of minutes here.
You'd like to think he'll slot this one, or a big chance on a lovely afternoon like today. 35 metres out slight angle.
Not much breeze. Riley Oakley for Glenorchy's first. He keeps it pretty low, but he gets some good accuracy on it. Umpire right over his head. First goal, Glenorchy. And that's a good start for Riley Oakley, and good play from the Pies inside their forward 50, Max. Yeah, it was, Dave. Really nice, relaxed kicking style there from Riley Oakley. Didn't over-kick it, but probably lucky to clear the pack, but he took it. He was very confident knowing that he could kick it, and it's a good start to them, 2 goals to 1. So they've just got to keep, ticking away and getting the 1%ers here today, and you never know what can happen. If there's stranger things can occur in a footy game. Barch, AFL.
Yes, the Pies and the Suns are underway at the MCG. 2 goals apiece. Collingwood leading at 2-3-15. The Suns 2-1-13.
Other TSL, the Roos 18 lead the Tigers 7. And down at Skybus Oval, it's North Hobart 7. Lauderdale yet to score. It's 12-6 here. And Leadham now wins his own tap out. Kicks inside 50 to the very edge of it. Gronowag in front position. Nearly took the mark. Has to release the ball. A lot of players around the contest. Out here towards Joseph. Little tap on to Deegan. Nobody can take effective possession. And it'll be a free kick 60 metres out from the goal. Ball 2 goals straight, Launceston. Sorry, ball up. 2 goals straight, Launceston. Glenorchy 1 goal straight.
Ball tossed up. Neither ruck won it decisively. Musica emerges from the pack. Got the ball out the back. But then dragged it back in. And the umpire says, I'll restart it once more. Launceston attacking side of the centre square. Early going here at Windsor. He's picked out a free kick on this occasion, the umpire. Go the way of lead him out of the ruck contest. Sends a high ball to full forward. Thorpe to come out. Just run under the footy a little bit. And taking a nice mark there was a Glenorchy defender in Patterson. Goes to the outer side. Has Blowfield over the top.
He's been impressive early days, young Blowfield.
Had a bit of it last week as well in that game from what I saw, Dave. Brings it back to our side of the ground now. The ball ends up in the hands of Deegan. He's still 40 metres out from his defensive goal. Comes back inside towards his teammate there. Couldn't catch the name. Might have been Rebelt. He comes now down towards the wing, looking for Wyatt. Went up and took a very good one-handed mark, did Wyatt. Had some good competition in the form of Blackberry and Leadham. And he has the ball just on his defensive side of centre wing. Meredith hits up at him now. Kick was good. Went through the hands of Meredith. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Centre wing, Glenorchy just a bit more of a sort of a chip kick possession style defence there, Max.
Yeah, it was. And really disappointing there from Josh Meredith. All the hard work the guys did to get a team on the wing, dropped a very basic mark. And you had to get that. And then they had the chance to go deep into their 50 again.
Had an open forward line had he have taken the mark. Not to be. Leadham, double-hander down to the front of the pack. Blackberry has a little bit of time to have a fumble, then gather it. Handball's over the top, looking for Hodge. He's under pressure. Black to Blackberry. Eventually the ball tumbles over the boundary line. Launceston gained 20 metres from the last stoppage. Just on their attacking side of the wing now. Open forward line for the Blues. They've all pushed up. Gronewegan really the deepest forward, just inside the 50-metre arc. Play restarts now. Front spot was White. Won it down. No one able to take clean possession. Going in was Hodge. He went to ground. Ball might come out now. Blackberry emerged with it. Hurry to kick forward. Coming up and meeting the football there was Patterson, but it ends up with Pitcher. Got a handball away under pressure. Looking for Riley. Taken down without the football there was the Glenorchy player in Manson. Advantage is called. They come away with a hurried kick by Simpson. Roving it nicely was Geared, and they're away here, the Pies. Nice ball. Looking for Daly. Couldn't trap it on the half volley. Got to his feet quickly, but didn't have support, and away come Launceston. They'll come back into attack now. That kick is out in front of Gronewegan. He overran the football. Coming behind him was Taylor. Goes with a spearing ball looking for Riley, and has got him. Lovely ball from the little man there in Taylor. And Riley will have a shot at goal. Similar spot to where the first one was kicked by Palfreman probably 10 minutes ago, but he's 5 metres in from the boundary on this occasion. So we'll have a good look at this. We'll be right behind him. Looks for an option. No one presents. He's got Gronewegan in the square if he wants. He goes short now, and that is okay. Mark's taken there by Donnellan. 25 metres closer to goal, but the angle is a little acuter. So he'll kick from almost alongside the boundary line, 25 to 30 metres out from goal. Starts his approach now. He'll kick from right on the boundary line, 30 metres around. Gives himself a bit of room onto the left. Nice looking kick. They've kicked a couple from that spot. The Blues, they've got their third. They lead it 3 straight 18 to 1 straight 6 Glenorchy.
Really good kick there from Taylor to set up Riley in the first instance, and a really strong mark too. There was a lot of pressure on him there, and he just waited and waited. It was like 50 metres or so out of his distance range. He was kicking right on 50, and then the Glenorchy defence just allowed Jack Donnellan to slip in there into that little space about 30, 35 out, and a true left footer. Didn't miss, guys.
Couple of quality finishes in that pocket already, and some quality kicking in front of goal. 4 straight here this afternoon.
15 and a half minutes gone. Yep, 3 straight to 1 straight. And we'll keep an eye on the other scores. It's Clarence 18 to Tigers 15 halfway through the first quarter. Nice, he'll tap over Blackberry. Finds Smith. Palfreman, I beg your pardon, kicks up towards half forward. Donnellan on the follow-up. Tries to get a kick away, does out of Taylor. Taylor kicks to the square. It's a one-on-one. Riley is the back position. He takes the mark, plays on, kicks his second. Easy as you like, Dylan Riley. Gee, one-on-one contest there. He just took the mark, positioned his body beautifully, and the ball dropped in his lap, and then he wasted no time in putting it straight through. 4 goals Launceston, 1 goal straight Glenorchy.
They've been able to get their defenders under the ball on a couple of occasions now, Max, the Launceston forwards, and he's got a couple out the back.
Yeah, look, Glenorchy, they've got to do something really quickly here. It's 4 goals to 1, but they had a couple of entries inside 50 groups. Wouldn't be many more than that, or 2 to 10.
Yep.
Yeah, it's alarming. I think we've seen North Hobart do this type of thing against Launceston. The other team, Glenorchy, on this occasion, they just need to attack a bit more.
Plays restarted. They'll get another entry here, though, the Magpies. Streaming out of the centre square is Camerick. Goes towards an open goal square. We'll have our first blemish of the afternoon. He's offline, through for a minor score. Takes the Magpies to 1-1-7, trailing Launceston 3 straight 18.
Massive experience today, Maxi, for young Cooper Meredith. The number 31 there. He's going to learn all about how to play footy today on Dylan Riley.
Tough matchup for sure for the young man. The Blues bring the ball nicely out of their defensive 50. Mark taken by Smith on the outer side. Squaring ball to Dowling. They're calling for him to switch it again. He'll go that way now. Looking for and finding McKercher alongside the centre circles. Can bring the ball wider still if he wants to. Doesn't go there now. Goes by hand to Woolley. Runs through the centre square. Penetrating ball. And coming up and bringing the ball full-chested was Donnellan, who kicked that goal only minutes ago. He can go back 40 metres out directly in front and shoot for his second of the afternoon. They're looking dangerous going forward, Max. Plenty of room for those forwards inside 50.
Yeah, look, that was just clinical there. They should never have been allowed a handball over the top there. Young Colby McKercher, the very, very poor checking by the Milwaukee guy then.
So in comes Donnellan again. He plays onto the left boot, gives himself a little bit more elevation on the kick, and as a result, just going a bit close to the man on the mark, and he's sprayed it for Launceston's first miss of the afternoon. There, 4-1-25, leading the Magpies 1-1-7. Kick in, ends with Palfreyman, who stole it, round the body, quick snap from Palfreyman. He's got his second of the afternoon, and they've got their fifth, the Blues. And this is getting a little bit dangerous early on here for the Magpies. They're trailing by 4 goals early in the first quarter.
2 goals to Palfreyman, 2 to Riley. High scoring encounter. 6 goals kicked, but 5 of those to the Blues. And Palfreyman just gets better each year. We see him play, Maxi. He started his career, of course, with the Western Storm, but he's really developing into one of the top players in the league.
Prospect Hawks he started with.
All right, okay, yes, go right back.
Prospect Junior Football Club, makers of champions up there.
Were you his coach, were you?
I was actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
now you mention it,
yeah, now you mention it. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, Donnellan as well, if you want to go for the record.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's probably a measure of a coach. Max has coached Palfreyman, and you coached me, fellas, about 15 years ago.
There you go. And now you're here, and these players are out there as the bounce comes down, and tap out there. Comes out now towards Wyatt. On now towards Nichols Aguirre, who kicks inside 50. Chance for the Pies here, but it's going to be swept away. Dowling once again. Pretty impressive back there. Kicks towards Hodge. You can't quite take. Wyatt. Now Whitford. Whitford to Brown. Landers on the boot straight away. Into a chaos ball. No one can take the mark there, and attacking 50 for the Pies. Weaving his way out there was Alec Wright. Now, he might have been caught with that. Incorrect disposal. Braden Webb has the ball. Champion for Glenorchy. So much footy in the last couple of years through various injuries. Bad knee injury on Newtast Stadium a year or 2 ago. Missed all of last season. Distance could be a query here. Plays on now. It gets around the man on the mark. Braden Webb for goal. That's the second for the Pies. All class Braden Webb. That's the one they needed just to steady things down a little bit. 2 goals straight Glenorchy. Launceston 5-1-31. And, gee, he sold a bit of candy there, Maxi, and put it through beautifully from about 40.
Yeah, he certainly did, Dave, and much-needed goal for them. And, just need to get around guys like that. He's a very experienced player, Braden Webb. Now, like you say, he's missed a bit through injury. But, they need guys like Webb. White's been impressive to start with. Like you said earlier, the young fella back at full-back, Cooper Meredith, getting a football experience to date in this first quarter, playing on the premier forward in the league in Dylan Riley. So they've got to just keep taking their risks. That's what they've got to do.
If you're in the Launceston area this afternoon, do yourself a favour and get down to Windsor Park. We're seeing some great footy early on here this afternoon. Plays restarted. Blackberry trailed the ball. He has some assistance now, and Launceston will come away. Feeding it back was Brown. Back to Palfreyman, who's been prolific early. Inside 50. Smith went up, couldn't complete the mark. Hodge was at the fall of it, couldn't gather it. And the ball beats Simpson of Glenorchy over the line. Will have a boundary throw in. 50 metres out, Launceston attacking end.
It's an interesting positional change by the Lonnie Football Club this year. Jake Smith, we haven't seen him play back at all, I don't think, this year to date.
No, the game I watched Max on the wing and then spending a bit of time forward here this afternoon, hitting up from the attacking 50. Blackberry sends the ball around the body inside 50, looking for Thorpe. He came out, created a crumb for Taylor, couldn't take it. Gronewegan does some work at ground level, the big man. But coming away with the football of Glenorchy. But the kick is ill-directed. Chopping it off was the Launceston player there in Morris. He goes towards the 50-metre line. And Palfreyman will receive a free kick, Palfreyman. Outer side of the ground on this occasion. He's got 2 for the afternoon already. He'll kick from 50 metres if he chooses to here. They've found a couple of options when they've gone inside 50 from this distance earlier on this afternoon to date. So they've got a couple of numbers back, Glenorchy. Palfreyman may be forced to have the shot on this occasion. Starts his approach now. He'll kick from 50. Gives himself a little bit of momentum. Plays on. Kick on its way. But just struggling a little bit for the distance. And he misses to the near side. They're second behind of the afternoon. They're 5-2-32. Leading Glenorchy 2-1-13. 19 points the margin. Oh, and they've coughed it up from the kick in here of the Magpies. It's gone straight to Dylan Riley. I think that was taking the mark there. And they'll be very disappointed with that. Brady Simpson brought it back into play and kicked it to really almost a one-on-one, 15 metres forward from where he was going. So, feeling the pressure, Dave.
Bit of experience there, I think, Barge.
So Riley, he'll come in. He's got 2 already. This one, he makes no mistake. He's got 3. Launceston have 6. They're doing it pretty nicely early on here at Windsor Park in the first quarter. 6 first-quarter goals. They lead Glenorchy 2-1-13.
Round the grounds in the TSL, Clarence 4 goals straight, 24, lead the Tigers 2-3-15. And it's all tied up at Skybus Oval, 2-1-13 apiece, Lauderdale and North Hobart. Barch is getting on the AFL app very quickly. We've got the Pies and the Suns.
Still only going. It's actually quarter time, and it's a point in the margin. Collingwood 2-3-15 to 2-2-14, the Suns.
And the Giants 9 lead Adelaide 7, so early days there as well. Didn't give you much time to talk there, Max.
No, it's all good. I don't mind having a rest, guys.
Yep, that's all right. There's a bit of an error there from young Brady Simpson, but it's all learning at the moment as Leadham gets the tap out. Working hard there is Doreen Wyatt. He gets the handball off to Geared, that lovely left foot of his. Finds a teammate there in Luke Nicholson, who's had a bit of it in this first quarter. He goes wide, pinpoints, nice kick. The mark taken, a couple of kicks out from goal there by Adam Roberts. Roberts goes short to the pocket rocket Daly. He marks 70 out. Is he going to send or go to the pocket? He sort of goes towards the pocket, looking for Webb. Punched away from him. Tuttle, little handball. Kicked out of defence there by Dowling towards Taylor, who's got a little bit of space here, right half forward. Goes here towards Thorpe, presents, gets it lace out. So Thorpe takes it, second grab. Kicks the pocket towards Riley. Can't get to the mark. Denellen tries to tap it over to Riley. Spills out of bounds. 5 metres around from the right behind post. 6-2-38 Launceston. Leading Glenorchy 2-1-13. 25 points is the margin. 25 minutes into this first quarter. So entertaining first quarter. Good individual effort. Some great goals have been kicked. Nice tap out by Deegan. Not to advantage though. Taylor swings quickly towards the goal square. Clears all the players. Thumped there by Cooper Meredith. Out of play.
This forward 50 entry, Dave, set up by a beautiful spoil from Dowling down the opposite end of the ground. It was a good kick going inside for the Magpies, but he did very well to get a spoil on that and not infringe. Yeah,
Braden Webb was the target there. Would have been dangerous from that distance. Throwing it a bit short. Riley's there. No one can pick it up. Once again, it's Riley. In fact, it's Musica on that occasion. One behind. 6-3-39 to 2-1-13. So Michael Musica, yeah, he played on the ball a bit last week. Without Hines at the moment, and Seymour and Harper. How good are they going to be when those players back? As Camrick goes sideways. Finds Isaac Manson. Manson goes back in the defensive goal square. Mark taken there by Patterson. He goes short. Living on the edge a bit here, but Daniel Joseph's got it. He goes wider, and the Pies will switch it from right half back.
Electing to possess the ball in their defensive 50, the Magpies. I'm not sure it's the right play, Max. They've had probably 7 kick marks here and really gone nowhere. But not relieving the pressure.
No, none whatsoever.
They elect to go longer now, and that kick, though, is ill-directed. And Groenewegen over the back of the pack takes an uncontested mark in the end, and he goes short. Finds a man in Musica, wheels onto the right and goes deep now. Riley to come out from the square, Thorpe in from the side. Thorpe couldn't complete the mark, fed it out, looking for Denellen. Now Riley onto a loose ball. Pressure came from Joseph. Glenorchy get a quick kick out of there. Got to go. Couldn't take the mark. Pulfreman has it now. Dowling, handball wider. The big man, Leadham, swings onto the right from 50. The kick is out of bounds on the full, though. Just couldn't quite get enough purchase to bring it back in front of goal.
Free kick, Riley, in the back in the contest.
Well, there you heard it, folks. Riley's been rewarded with a free kick from that marking contest deep inside the forward pocket.
Special comments there from Mitch Thorpe behind us.
He's almost against the behind post, a couple of metres around, goes on to the left now, and he's kicked it. He's got 4. Lovely finish there off the left from Dylan Riley. And this is getting worrying for the Magpies. They try Launceston 7-3-45 to Glenorchy 2-1-13. And this could be ugly if it continues, Max.
It could well be. There's 2 things if Paul Kennedy's listening. The full back, when he's kicking out, they've moved the man on the mark to 15 metres away. So therefore you can run another 10 metres out of that square, and there is no reason why Glenorchy or any football
Can't
club,
clear the area.
You can get it to the middle in one kick. So why are they mucking around with it? 8 kicks. Get it. Give someone a chance to do something else with it instead of little short 50-50 possession kicks that are under pressure.
And the way Launceston set up, Max, you don't really see any space on the outer side when they do switch it.
Musica gets the middle clearance there. It's a 2-on-1 contest. One wins out. Back here towards Brady Simpson. Now to Whitford. Can't quite find the handle. McKircher's in there. Out of bounds. So boundary throw in. Right half forward. 28, nearly 29 minutes gone. We might see a couple more minutes with 9 goals scored in this first quarter. Beautiful day for footy. About 22 degrees here at Windsor Park. Over the back, it's Musica starting to work his way into the game. Goes right now to the left, takes a bounce. Then kicks, long left foot kick here. Denellen in front position, didn't go. Looked over his shoulder and Joseph took the easiest of marks in defence. Clears it now to Geared. Geared back to Joseph. Looking for an option, has to stop and prop to Brady Simpson. Back to Joseph. He just has to go the mongrel punt up the wing in the end. Here towards Daly up against Tuthill. Good use of the body by Daly. Right on the boundary. Kicks it just in time. Towards attacking 50. Coming out to meet it there was Bailey Bester. And we've got a free kick on play. And it's going to go to Bailey Bester with the blue boots. Bailey Bester kicks inside attacking 50. Almost a mark taken there by Morris. He couldn't quite get a handle. He's bundled over the boundary line by Roberts. Boundary throw in. Deep in attack for Glenorchy. Group Z inside 50 has scored a 16-6. The Blues favour. Clearance is 15-5. Tells a bit of a story. So far, they're winning the hit-outs too. Leadham back in the seniors doing very well. Deegan, they win this one for the Pies. They're a chance for a late score here in this first quarter. Lots of Blues defenders back. Ball comes out. Blackberry, kick smothered. Morris can't take it with him. Daly tackled. So we're over 30 minutes, 30 and a half minutes.
Been very effective going forward, Foz. 7 goals from 16 entries, a good outcome for any side, I would have thought.
Now Blackberry thumps that towards the boundary line. Pye shows some mercy there and says a throw in. Yes, Barch, yeah, very great efficiency. Dylan Riley, 10 goals last week. 4 goals in the first quarter this week.
I might run out of room on my little sheet. I'm going to have to put my numbers closer together at this rate, Dave.
Absolutely. He's only getting going. I think Dylan Riley is Musica. Now is it whistle on play. Advantage paid to Pitcher. Pitcher kicks through the middle of Windsor Park up here looking for that man Riley at his bootlaces. Kicks it off the ground here towards the big fella Leadham. He lumbers it after it. He gets a kick just in time, does he? No. Good boundary umpiring there right on the spot.
Clever football there from Riley. Sensed he was going to ground, but still got the kick off the ground to the advantage of his teammate in Leadham.
31 and a half minutes gone. It's Launceston 45, Glenorchy 13.
Ball to be thrown in, attacking side of the wing for the Blues. Leadham and Deegan, plenty of space around this stoppage. Rucks compete now. Deegan takes front spot and Leadham won it nicely to music up. Had a handball, elected not to give that, then was tackled, went to ground, came the way of the Magpies, and they've been pinged this time. Adam Roberts didn't dispose of the football correctly. Blackberry has it. Time may be against him. Goes on the left now. Deep ball looking for Thorpe. Going back. The Dukes went up. Ball on the ground. Coming through nicely there was Donovan. Corrode to contest. They've got it though under immense pressure here, the Magpies. Kick was smothered. Thorpe gets it on the ground now. Comes out the way of Miller. He's immediately tackled. Hot footy. Thorpe goes back on all fours. They might clear it now, and they are saved by the bell, the Magpies. They stop it there. They'll be relieved. That's been the end of what has been a difficult term for them. They gave away 7 goals to Launceston. They're 7-3-45. Glenorchy kicked 2 themselves. They're 2-1-13. 32-point margin. Quarter time at Windsor Park.
Max, before we get the goal kickers, just some quick thoughts there at quarter time.
Well, it was just a dominant display of forward footy, wasn't it? And one of our co-commentators here by the name of Dave Moore said, I reckon Riley may be a chance to kick 12 today. Well, going on current calculations, that 12 could turn into 16, Dave.
I don't think he'll go that far, but no, he's been a dominant player. But the Pies had their moments. 7 goals to 2, so they've had some inside 50s, not many. Barch, might go through the goal kickers, then we will go back to some messages and we'll do the stats after some messages.
So that man Riley that we've mentioned, he's been dominant with 4. Polferman has a couple of very nice finishes. He got them started with one from deep inside the pocket early on. So he's kicked the 2 and then the single to Donovan. And for the Magpies, Riley Oakley has 1 and Braden Webb 1 via a lovely piece of play where he played on, went round the man in the mark and slotted 1 from 40 metres out.
Quarter time here at Windsor Park. It's Launceston 7-3-45, Glenorchy 2-1-13. We're back here in just a moment.
Community Care Tasmania is your local, not-for-profit home care service provider in Tasmania. We deliver a full range of home care services with care and empathy. Our friendly, professional and innovative staff will tailor care to your needs. Ring 6334 0990 or 1300 722 400 and speak to a local. Also, you can visit cct.org.au to find out more. At Community Care Tasmania, we put your care first. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
What you hear on Community Radio is governed by the Community Broadcasting Codes of Practice. The Codes of Practice cover matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, including local content, news, current affairs, Australian music content, programs for children, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting to the community. They also cover aspects such as community access and participation in the operation of this service. Copies of the codes are available from the Community Broadcasting Association website, www.cbaa.org.au.
At Tassie Tyres, they're about you and your safety on Tasmanian roads, especially with the changing of the season. Locally owned and operated Tassie Tyres pride themselves on their exceptional customer service to ensure every detail concerning your tyres and vehicle safety is covered. For all your tyre and servicing needs, visit the team at Tassie Tyres today, located in Kings Meadows, or if you're up the coast, they're at Formby Road, Devonport. Tassie Tyres, a proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by L-Gas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. L-Gas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Here we are at Windsor Park, TSL action this afternoon, entertaining first quarter. 7-3-45 Launceston, Glenorchy 2-1-13, and both teams are down there in their huddles. We'll get some AFL scores in a moment from you, Barge, but we might just have a look at the stats to quarter time. And at quarter time, the hit-outs, Launceston 17-8. 17 to Launceston, 8 to Glenorchy. So Hamish Leadham returning to the senior side in the last couple of weeks, really taking some control there. Clearances 16-5. So that's a big disparity there. The Blues have been right on top around the contest there in the middle and around the ground. Inside 50s, 17-6 in that quarter. Marks inside 50, 7 to Launceston. That's a huge number of marks inside 50 for a quarter of footy. To 1 for Glenorchy. Free kicks 6-5 the Blues way. 7-3-45 to 2-1-13. Barch, what do you got there AFL-wise for us?
AFL, couple of games going on this afternoon. Suns and the Magpies at the MCG. Magpies' troubles continuing early on there. They trail at 19-32. And over in Adelaide, the Crows and the Giants, Crows 7, Giants 13, early stages, first quarter.
And in the TSL at the Twin Ovals this afternoon, 5-1-31 Clarence to the Tigers 2-4-16. That's at quarter time. And down at Lauderdale at Skybus Oval, really tight contest there. Quarter time 3-2-20. Lauderdale to 3-1-19 to North Hobart. So close one there. The D-League earlier on, Launceston 25-13 at 163 to Glenorchy 3-4-22. Okay, Maxi, so what do you think Glenorchy will be looking to do in this second quarter? They're 5 goals down. They've got to generate some scoring opportunities.
Yeah, they do. And I was just reflecting back on when they had ample kickouts then, 3, but certainly a lot of possessions in the back half. I think Launceston seem to be going man on man with them. They're not zoning. Apart from the kick out, they tend to zone a little bit, but beyond that, when the ball's in general play, they seem to be going man on man, and somehow Glenorchy have got to try and get an extra number to a contest just to outnumber the Launceston Footy Club, because at the moment they're just saturating their forward line and just not allowing the ball out. So I think that would be the message loud and clear at the moment from Paul Kennedy, the Glenorchy coach, about how we can get the ball deep out of defence and get a bit of overlap run. And, once they get to the centre, I think they need to take the game on. You can be a little bit cautious in your back half, but once you get forward to centre, take the game on and, don't be predictable in being unpredictable. Just keep moving the ball forward. They've got to do better when they've got control of the ball.
Launceston have broken up there. We'll get down to our boys in a second, but quickly, Barch, just some major individual possession winners for Launceston. Thanks to Damien Donnelly and Darren Lovell, the Launceston stats guys.
Paul Freeman leading all comers with 7, 6 kicks and the 1 handball. Taylor and Leadham, Riley all had 6 disposals apiece. And in terms of marks, Dylan Riley, that man, he's taken 3 marks for the Blues.
Down to the boys on the boundary.
Okay, in Glenorchy, they're pretty happy. They want them to shut down a fair bit more. They say that they allow them too much space outside. Fairly happy with the matchups. I reckon they forced Riley wide and he's just kicked forward from the boundary essentially. The second efforts on the outside contest, they want more of that around the stoppages, and they want them to force them more wider and keep it a little bit longer.
From a Launceston viewpoint, Mitch Thorpe was just demanding some cleaner entries and really wanted them to lift the tackle count. He was quite disappointed that Glenorchy are breaking tackles.
Okay, any major injuries down there, boys?
All clear from Launceston?
All clear this end too.
No worries, so that's a good first quarter result there. Thanks to the boys on the boundary. We'll hear from them again at half-time. Nearly set to go in the second quarter. And it's Launceston 45 leading Glenorchy 13. Here's Luke Grabarczyk for City Park Radio Sport.
Massive quarter for the Magpies coming up if they're to stay in this contest. And Leadham rose high, got it down to Blackberry. He in turn sort of palmed it down towards his teammate there in Polframan. Dominant in that first quarter, got a nice ball forward to Gronewegan, took it on the chest. He goes inside forward 50 now, over the head of Donlan. Coming up was Thorpe, couldn't gather the ball on the ground. He receives a handball now, but his kick is immediately smothered over the boundary line, 50 metres around from the Launceston goal. Once again, they're into attack early on. Those Dave Gruber inside 50s, dominant, the Blues.
Absolutely, as it's in the forward pocket on the far side. It's binoculars time. As Deegan gets the tap nicely to Brown for Glenorchy. 2 Browns here today. So we get to the Dominic number 50 for Glenorchy and Casey for Launceston. Dominic, of course, his brother Ben tomorrow will be making his debut for the Demons down at Blunston Arena.
I can sense an upset coming there, I think, Foz. Danger game for the D's, I think.
Get on it as Paul Freeman will handball over the top here towards Taylor in the pocket. Patterson there, Blowfield dives in after the ball, Blackberry in there as well. There'll be a ball up close to the boundary line, forward pocket, deep in attack for the Blues. City Park Radio Sport next week, UTAS Stadium, North Launceston and the Tigers. Part of a sport doubleheader. Then we're off to the Tornadoes versus Eltham Wildcats. So lots of local sport net Saturday. There's another ball up. There's got a bit of revving down below us here. Caught with the ball there is Nicholson. Slung in the tackle by Blackberry. Umpire says settle it down a little bit. A lot of players around the contest. Can Launceston fashion something here? Cooper Meredith, air swing. Blackberry picks it up, tackled by Camrick. We've got our fourth ball up in about a minute. It's where they're dangerous, though, the Blues. I've seen them so many times fashion a shot for goal like this from Riley, who can't quite get the space for a kick. And it's another ball up. So just holding back the tide here at the moment, the Pies. Doing pretty well. Thorpe now to Riley. Swings. Gets a handball here towards Thorpe. At his bootlaces. Wasn't much good. Now Wyatt spins out of it to Camrick. Working by hand. They do well there to Callum Thompson, who goes to Rybelt, and Rybelt takes the mark in the back flank.
They can relieve from their defensive 50 here, the Pies. Short ball is okay, finds Deegan. Takes it on the chest in front of Gronawegan. Looks inboard. Now he goes longer down the line, does Deegan. True centre wing, out of side. Pies compete, no one taking the mark. Nice crumb there. I think that might have been Meredith. Hurry to kick forward. Open forward line here for the Pies. It's a foot race. Getting back was Adams. Can't take the football with him. Paddled it out towards a teammate just inside the boundary line. The Blues arrive now, and they force a stoppage on the outer side. Nice movement there when they went a little bit quicker, Max, on that occasion.
Yep, that's all they've got to do. Like, if they can break a line with some running and then kick it over the back, because everyone just, as we know, everyone just pushes up when the ball's down the other end, and they had a perfect chance then.
Ball thrown in. Webb nearly took it out of the ruck. Couldn't. Quick kick comes out now, but the mark's taken going back there by Whitford. Whitford 70 metres out. Just shanks the ball inside the forward 50 as Whitford. Musica takes it. Could be gone here, Musica. Elected to get around to attack. I didn't see the second coming, and he was taken down, and rightfully so. The Magpies get a free 50 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle on the outer side. Braden Webb is the man that will take the kick. Plays on now. Gave a dicey handball to Camrick. Now the Blues come in. A couple of tackles. Holding the ball, says the umpire. They'll be disappointed with that, the Magpies. Probably one of their sort of more promising passes of play for the afternoon. And they'll be denied. Taylor to take the free kick from his defensive 50. Has Smith on short. Goes there now. Takes it. He comes across to our side of the ground. Asking a little bit there of Tuthill. Did well though, Tuthill. Got the ball on the ground. Gave a handball over to Blackberry. Flat-footed for a moment. Kicks out wide. Too wide, in fact. Ball is over the boundary line there in front of Bowen Pearce. So the Blues have it, and they're attacking half of the ground now, but the Magpies just putting a little bit more pressure on that transition. They'll be pleased to force a stoppage as the Blues move forward. Deegan and Leedham to compete once more. Over the back, Deegan takes it on the ground, feeds a handball out into some space. That was Nicholson. His kick again into space, but no one really home for them. The Blues will take it there through right. Ball is in dispute momentarily though until Wright mops up. Takes it towards his attacking forward line, but the kick is ill-directed. Out of bounds on the full, and Glenorchy will repel once again. Blowfield to take the kick from half-back.
Young Nathan Blowfield. Played a few senior games now for the Pies. He kicks up the wing. Knocked away, taken by Thompson. Kick to half-forward, trapped by Wright. Tackled, releases a kick quickly. Casey Brown takes the mark. So no score yet through 5 minutes of this quarter. Bit of an arm wrestle. The Pies have done well to limit the scoring. Beautiful kick from Brown, finds Paul Freeman. Paul Freeman kicks from about 55 to the pocket. Riley's in there. One, couldn't get the second grab, bounced off his chest. Cooper Meredith does okay. Well, that ball already out of bounds.
Much more even start to this quarter. If I was 2 forward, 50 entries apiece.
Yep, definitely. So that's what the Pies can work their way back into the game. The margin as it stands isn't insurmountable, but they can't keep leaking scores the other way. Front position was Gronawagon. White couldn't take it. Here's Riley, dangerous. Releases a handball. Coughs it up, though. Panic kick out of defence. Lands with Woolley on the left foot. Josh Woolley. He's got a goal for the Blues, the defender. It clears the line, and that's the 8th goal for Launceston. And a great goal there to Josh Woolley, who charges off the ground after kicking it. And a great story, Josh Woolley, Max. During the week, he suffered badly with injuries, osteitis pubis, and he's come back to Launceston. He got himself fit. He's playing some good footy.
Yeah, he went away for a while, played a fair bit of footy up in Queensland, and came back this year and put his hand up and said, I've played here before and I can play here again, and just rewards then for the hard work that he's put in to get where he is. Be about 27, 28 years old now.
Yep, he's still pretty much in his prime, so yeah, he's still playing some good footy.
Yep.
Thanks to our sponsors, this broadcast is brought to you by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. This is City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5. Bringing you the local sport here, the TSL and the Tornadoes in the NBL1. Here's Luke Grabarczyk.
Ready for the restart now. 6.5 minutes gone for that first goal of the second quarter. Magpies a little more competitive. They do nicely here. Deegan was the recipient of a handball, but he ran into trouble. Ball in dispute now in the centre square. Launceston players taking the ground. Didn't catch who that was. Could have maybe got a free kick for in the back. The umpire says no. Didn't dispose of the ball correctly, Miller Hodge. And the free kick will go the way of Geared for the Magpies. In the heart of the centre square. He goes short. Oh, playing on was Wyatt. He wasn't aware of the pressure coming from Smith, and he was caught cold, and that clearly was holding the ball. Smith by hand now to Blackberry, running alongside him. Left foot ball, inside forward 50, coming up nicely and taking the mark. That could be Pitcher there, I think. It was a little bit quiet in that first quarter.
I think it's that man again.
No, it is Riley, sorry. Well, he certainly wasn't quiet. He was far from quiet. Has 4 already for the afternoon. And he'll go back. He's got this football around 35 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle. So this would be a worry for the Magpies. They've been competitive for the first 5 or 6 minutes, but now opportunities presenting for the Blues. Riley comes in looking for his 5th of the afternoon. Kick on its way. Looks pretty good. He's put it over the umpire's hat. That is through for his 5th, and that is through for North Launceston's 9th goal of the afternoon. They led at 9-3-57. Glenorchy still the 2 majors. They're 2-1-13, 44-point margin, early going second term.
Good, really good finish, wasn't it? Did not look like missing that goal. So, but you wouldn't expect anything less from Dylan Ryland from a set shot, 40 out on an angle. You'd put your money on it every day of the week.
Again, they'd be disappointed. Maxim, they won the football, the Magpies, and then the big fella just wasn't aware, no talk or whatever the case was, and he was caught cold playing on, and Smith really set up that goal with a great tackle.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest challenge for Glenorchy now, because starting to get into the dangerous stage, is just to get the ball and control the ball, as we see another takeaway from the centre for Launceston.
Yes, Deegan won the tap, but it was sharked by Hodge. Halfback, though, repelled here. Camrick fumbles. Taken there by Bester. Kicks up towards half forward, but the mark's taken by Josh Woolley. Woolley goes short to Blackberry. Starting to work his way into this game. First quarter, it was a bit quiet, Jay Blackberry. But had a few possessions this quarter. Right, short pass. Up here looking for Hodge. Musica traps it from the centre circles. Kicks towards full forward to Riley. Front position. Can't take it. Well sport there by Meredith. He takes the ball. Under pressure in defence of the Pies. Best gets it away. Taken by McKercher. He's tackled there. Now, Pitcher's got it. 60 out from goal. He wheels around. Right foot kick to the square. Braden Pitcher, that carries the contest. Riley, though, first to it. Traps it. Handballs over the top. Blackberry on that left foot. Snaps. Left foot. Goal. Another goal to the Blues. Dangerous players inside forward 50. Riley and Blackberry. And Jay Blackberry gets his first for the day, and they've piled on 3 goals there in just about as many minutes.
You mentioned Blackberry there, Dave, before. A little bit quiet in that first term. Just the 2 disposals. I reckon he's had probably 3 or 4 in the last couple of minutes, and then that goal as well.
Yep. And just nice direct play again, Maxi. Musica took it in the middle. He didn't muck around. Straight up the middle.
Yep. And that's what Glenorchy need to do. If they get the opportunity from a clearance, instead of trying to pinpoint someone on the 45 degrees kick for 30 or 40 metres, as everyone tries to do, they need to do what Launceston did then and just drive it in long, put a bit of panic amongst the defenders, make it hard for them.
Progressive score from the Twin Ovals. Clarence 6-3-39, the Tigers 2-4-16, and down at Skybus Oval it's North Hobart 4-2-26, leading Lauderdale 3-2-20. Here's Barch.
AFL Suns by 19, Giants by 7. Magpies in real trouble. Paul Freeman emerges from the restart. Long ball. Pitcher this time at the back, but I think he's given away a push in the back.
Yep.
Pretty clear that one. And the Magpies get the opportunity to come away. But again, they've turned it over looking for a short ball.
I think someone McCullough that could not have been kicking towards the Glenorchy player.
Straight to his opponent there in Brown. So Brown's taken a mark. He's 35 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle on the outer side. And I'm not sure of the stats, but this probably would be the third mark inside forward 50, intercept mark inside forward 50 for the Blues that has resulted in a immediate shot at goal.
We've had 9 marks inside 50 in total, which is pretty huge for the stage of the game.
So in Brown comes now, short approach, kick is offline near side. In fact, he's missed everything, and Glenorchy will have another opportunity to bring the ball away from their defensive 50 to take it from alongside the behind post. Disappointing finish there from Brown, but they've been pretty good in front of goal so far, the Blues, this afternoon. What can they muster here? Again, they go short to the opposite pocket. Not a lot on offer down the ground. They've got Simpson around in the pocket if they want. They go across the face of goal again, and the kick misses the mark. It hasn't found a Launceston player on this occasion, but instead it finds the boundary line on the bounce, and the Blues will keep the ball inside their attacking 50, 30 metres around from goal.
This is where they're strong, the Blues. They just keep that ball inside attacking 50, forward line pressure. Boundary throw in, 25 metres around from goal. Gronewagen gets the thump away.
Max taking a photo opportunity here alongside us on such a lovely afternoon. You wouldn't blame him, Foz.
Yes. Yeah, well, I got a text from a gentleman, long-time listener, first-time texter. Might be a guy who could be on his way to Port Douglas.
Ah, yes. I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
We haven't seen him for a while.
No.
I think he might be back at the Derby game in a couple of weeks. That's Matthew McGee. Anyway, the ball is right in the teeth of goal, so we'll just keep it here until we see what happens. And we'll get that text message as it's knocked away. A lot of pies around there. Joseph gets a quick kick away, as does Camerick. He clears the area. Attacking the ball there was Dowling. Blackberry spins, kicks, left foot inside 50. Donnellan takes the mark. About 20 out, right of centre. Jack Donnellan, he's already kicked one early in the first quarter.
And that's one of the issues that Glenorchy have got. Like, they had so many numbers back there defending, and they managed to get it out, but they've got no one to give it to when they do. The Launceston guys aren't getting sucked in following the ball down and getting deep into their forward line. They're just hanging back across half forward there, and exactly then, I can't remember who kicked it back in, but Donnellan's got the mark.
Jack Donnellan, turn to the Blues in the pre-season. Here he comes. And the umpire barely moves. Another one of the Blues. That's their fourth for the quarter. 11 goals, 3, 69. That's a 2-1-13. And that's the second goal today for Jack Donnellan.
He becomes their third multiple goal kicker for the afternoon, Foz, already only halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, so the Pies are inside 50s this quarter. Just the 2 against the Blues 6.
Well, I think they would have had those probably 2 in the first 2 minutes. I think it was 2-1 at one stage. And there's been all one-way traffic from about the 3-minute mark of the quarter. So worrying signs for the Magpies indeed. AFL very quickly. Still a 19-point margin to the Suns. They lead the Magpies 39-20. Giants by 7, 21 over the Crows, who are 14. Play to restart here. Halfway through the second term. Blues dominant at this stage. Meredith in the ruck was decisively beaten by Leadham. They're unable to convert that dominance in the ruck there into a clearance, and will have a secondary ball up, really still in the centre circles. Leadham up against Meredith. Again, Leadham won it down. Musica goes after it, but doing nicely might have been Daly there. Comes away from the pack, but going back and taking a nice mark was Bowen Pearce. He goes short. Finds Miller Hodge. Goes to the outer wing now. Polframan has it on the outer side. Gronewagen presents up. That's ignored. Wants it longer down the line now. He goes in that direction. So Gronewagen to go back with the fight. Does nicely. Stood in front of the pack and took a strong mark in the end. 3 or 4 players coming at him. 70 metres out from goal. Sends a high ball to the top of the square. Where's Riley? Fisted down. Crummers required. Going to ground there was McKercher, and he's wrapped up as a result. 15 metres out from the Blues goal, directly in front, deep into attack once more.
I'm glad Paul Kennedy's left Cooper Meredith on Riley. It's been a pretty even quarter between the two of them, just the one goal kicked.
Not easy when the ball's coming in with this sort of frequency now. They'll clear here the Magpies. Hurried kick again, but only as far as Leadham. He's sitting behind the ball. Fed a handball back towards Polfram. It was at his feet. Couldn't gather it. As a result, Pies pile on this football now. That ball won't be coming out of there. The umpire agrees, and we'll have a stoppage. 60 metres out from the Launceston goal. 16-minute mark of this second term at Windsor Park. Comes down now the way of Hodge. He puts it inside forward 50. coming out and laying a nice tackle on this occasion is the goal kicker in Riley, and he will create another stoppage, and they're struggling to clear this ball from their defensive 50, as we've highlighted, Max.
Yeah, but I agree with Foz there. Like young Meredith, it's pretty hard to stop the ball when it's coming in the way it is, so it's a good opportunity for him to learn a lot about his craft today. Blowfield
takes it, but again he kicks to it. Probably a 3-on-2 on the outer side. Launceston's favour. They do well to force a stoppage, the Magpies, so they'll have an opportunity to give their defence some relief here. As we have a boundary ball up, so on the outer wing. Deegan arrives, competes with Leadham. Leadham again won it down. Had a very good quarter in terms of hit-outs. Umpires picked out a free kick. Looks like it's going the way of the Magpies. Daly to take that on the outer wing. Goes with a short ball looking for a rebound. Asks a bit of him. Did well. Got a handball over the top to Deegan. He was immediately pressured. Goes to ground. Ball spills free. Pretty tight footy out there on the outer side. Not an easy position to be had. And the umpire will come in once more. Coming up last of all was Geared. Deegan, again, Groenewegen into the ruck now to give Leadham a spell. Thorpe came through, cleared a path for Polferman. He sends a long ball inside 450 to Riley coming out at the back. Pitcher it is, onto the ball, left foot, snap at goal is good. They've got another one, the Blues. Nice finish, lovely long ball in from Polferman. Riley created a contest, cleared away for his crummer, and Pitcher did the rest. He's got his first of the afternoon.
It's just so clean and crisp, aren't they, at the moment? Like, Glenorchy are just toiling away, multiple possessions, multiple little chip kicks. We sound like a bit of a broken record, but...
Yeah, it's efficient footy, isn't it, Max?
Well, they must understand that the game that they're playing against this opposition at the moment isn't working. So what do we need to do to change it? I'd be saying, well, what we need to do first is when we get the ball, we kick it long and we kick it to space. And then we trust you blokes who've got a bit of run in your legs to get the opportunity to be first to the ball. But at the moment, I'm not quite sure where they can find a few winners.
Yes. 12-3-75, Launceston Glenorchy 2-1-13 in the middle. Blackberry tries to get the clearance. Now it's with Hodge, who's worked his way back in the game after a couple of weeks out through injury. Kicks towards right half forward. Dunellen out there with Joseph. Ball eludes both of them. Taylor is in there. Now it's the pitcher again. Pitcher inside 51-1, Meredith and Riley. Well done, Cooper Meredith again. At the forward contest, Coley McKirch is there. He's tackled straight away. Progressive score from the Twin Ovals. It's Clarence 7-3-45. The Tigers 2-4-16. And at Skybus Oval, it's North Hobart 6-3-39 to Lauderdale 3-3-21. So it'll be a big result for North Hobart if they win that one. Their first win of the season. Long way to go. Geared dives on the ball with McKircher. So in the forward pocket. Great conditions here today. Mentioned that a few times. It's the 1st of May, but it feels almost like a late summer day.
Pre-season weather, Foz.
Absolutely. And a few spectators here today enjoying the Blues. They're a great team to watch when they're up and firing. Geared from defensive 50. Takes here, taken by Brown. He kicks towards the goal square, bounced off a player's chest. Pitcher again, snaps for his second. I think he's got it. Umpire worked a lot to his right, but he's got it.
Yes.
So a couple of goals to Braden Pitcher. 2 goals in a row, in fact, and that's their 13th. Kicking accurately, 13-3-81 to 2-1-13. It's amazing how many snap goals they get, Maxie. Just those opportunist goals in that I suppose that 20-metre arc in front of the goals.
Yeah, well, they do it well. We see Dylan Riley do it a lot. We've seen Pitcher do it there. Jay Blackberry's notorious for it on his left foot. He's always swinging that left pin of his around, isn't he, to kick the goals, and Dunellen's done it today. It's very, very dangerous outfit within 30 metres to goal, Launceston.
And Dave Gruber inside 50 said deep entries, aren't they, Max? They're not shallow.
Yeah.
11-2 in this quarter. So no scorers yet for Glenorchy. It's an ordinary bounce. They'll have to come back. So 7-3. They've kicked 6 straight in 20 minutes yet to score. So great accuracy by the Blues. Throw up. It's the secondary ball up. Shark there by Camerick. Dispossessed. Braden Webb in the middle now to try and lift things up. He kicks towards half forward. Callum Thompson's there. Thompson takes it to Camerick. Camerick from 55 inside out kick to the goal square. Wyatt nearly takes the mark. Daly. Can he pounce on the ball? He does, but he's tackled from behind by House. So, Callandaro's nearly away there. Jamison House big unit he is. He's laid the tackle at the crucial moment. So ball up, dangerous position, Glenorchy in attack.
Big White was dangerous there. Nearly had it. He takes this one out of the ruck, but he's given away the free kick in doing so. Just ragdolled his opponent, House, out of the way, really. A little bit crude in the end. And House will take the free kick for the Blues, 15 metres out from his defensive goal. Had right on short, didn't go there. Stark contrast to what the Magpies have been doing at the other end. He takes 10 metres and then kicks. Taken nicely by Miller. He plays on immediately, and all of a sudden the Blues are into attack with a deep ball. Going out the back, that was Taylor. Goes along to Ryan at the top of the square. Gets rid of his opponent, walks into the open goal. Bang! There you go. 4 possessions, goal. Stunning football, Max.
What did you think about the little body work there on the opponent, Maxie?
I'd love to see the replay that you've got in front of you, Foz. Not quite sure.
The umpire's in a good position, and I sort of paused for a moment, Max. I thought, this is... But no, he said, away you go, son, and he put it through for the boys' 14th goal.
Yep.
So I've got the stream on a little bit of delay here as Tyson Miller kicked it to half forward out the back. Taylor took a lovely mark.
Moved it quickly.
Yeah, moved it quickly, it's one of those 50-50 ones. But
ball was in 5 metres. He waited long enough for it and just sort of gave him that bit of a push and shove on the side.
He's kicked 6, am I right there, Bart?
That's right. 4 in the first, 2 in this second. The Blues' capacity to turn and go, very impressive. Groenewegen from the restart. Away they go. Blackberry has it now. Puts a wide ball out in front of Miller. He can run onto it and take it. Has a little bit of time. Feeds it over the top to Pitcher by hand. He goes inside 50 now. Looking for Riley. Got him. Lovely ball. A lot of space. Came out. Takes the mark 30 metres out. Slide angle. And he'll go back and shoot for his 7th goal minutes before half time.
What a beautiful kick by Pitcher.
Yes, they've been impressive moving inside 50, particularly in this quarter. I think, Max, they've opened it up. He's got space and, as you say, put it on a platter, really.
He certainly did. He's played really well this quarter, Pitcher. Had half a dozen or so really good possessions.
He was a little bit quiet, just the one disposal in that first term, but as we say, he's coming to it in this quarter. In comes Riley for goal, but he's pushed this one across the face. Didn't quite get it off the right part of the boot. A little bit towards the instep, I think. Didn't spin nicely, and he's missed. He'll be disappointed with that.
Bit of a groan there from Max Walker. I think he's looking for a big bag today, Max. He's hoping for a big total here from Dylan Riley. He's kicked 6, 14-4-88 to 2-1-13. It's deep in defence. Brady Simpson fumbling, still got time, gets it away just in time there to his teammate in Oakley. Oakley out towards Blowfield. It's spoiled out of bounds on attacking 50.
So that's 5 possessions. I counted them then. They still haven't cleared the ball from a point from inside their defensive 50.
The issue at the moment, just trying to get out of defensive 50, create some opportunities.
And they've got a couple of tall targets in Deegan and White, Max, if they want to go long, if they have them presenting. You think they'd be strong targets to kick to.
Yep, they're just struggling to get it.
Front position, Thorpe gets it to Musica, wheels round, left boot, inside 50. Front position clears, Riley hovering, can't take it. Little handball out from Patterson. Finds Camrick. He's corralled. Gets it back to Patterson. They worked it well there, the Pies. Patterson kicks wide. Too wide. So it'll come back in again via the Blues. Cody Thorpe. Underneath the light tower. On the western side of the ground. Kicks long. Flyers wanted in the goal square. Riley. Can't take it. Falls to the front of the contest. Brendan Taylor gets a kick away. It's a go 15. It bounces into space. Taken here by McKercher. The young man gets clear on the left boot. Kicks a classy goal. Well done, Colby McKercher. He's joining in the party here at Windsor Park. High fives from teammates. Bit of class there from the youngster. He kicked a couple of lovely goals last week and he hits the scoreboard here today at Windsor Park.
Nice finish on the left.
It was a nice finish, and just that contested footy prior to that, there was a big pack, probably 6 or 8 jumping for the ball. I guess if there's one observation as a negative, then it might be something that is instructed to do, but I'd like to see Dylan Riley possibly stay down from those contested marks. They had Thorpe and a couple of others flying as well, and because he's so good when the ball hits the ground.
Yeah, valid point, Foz. They've certainly got plenty of options there in the air and on the ground, and that was a nice finish, as we said, from McKercher for his first. Been a big turn for the boys. They've kicked 8. They lead it 15-4-94 to 2-1-13, the Magpies. Yet to register a score in this second quarter, as we now are at 26 minutes gone. So they need half-time to come quickly. Brown has the ball on the outer side, touches it on the ground, gives a handball away to Miller. He comes back inside on the left and hits up Musica. Takes a mark, uncontested, 45 metres out and lowered the eyes nicely there did Miller, and spotted up Musica. So he'll kick from 50 if he chooses to. And look at that space. He's got Leadham almost on his own within 20 metres of goal, but he'll go back and have the set shot.
It's a lovely long kick, Musica.
Long approach. Deliberate approach. Coming in now. Max has ticked it off already, I think, in the book. Let's have a look. Kick from 51. It's a high ball. He's going to make the distance comfortably. And he's got the accuracy as well. Max was 15 seconds ahead of the rest of the crowd. He had in the book, rightfully so. Musica has got his first quality finish from beyond 50. And the Blues, they have their 16th goal. They reached the century prior to half-time. They're 16-4, lovely kicking, 100. Glenorchy stuck on the 2-1-13. It's an 87-point margin at Windsor Park.
9-goal quarter, pretty dominant. Gee, that's a lovely kick, wasn't it, Max?
It was. It was a bit like a 6 or 7 iron. It got a lot of height in it, but kicked it from 50 comfortably.
North Hobart 7-3, leading Lauderdale 3-3, and at Twin Ovals, Clarence well in front, 8-3, 51 to 3-5, 23. The Tigers. Deegan wins the tap out. Musica's in there again though. He might have dragged it in, Musica, but umpire says no. There'll be a ball up. Half time, just a few minutes' time, we've got Ian McCallum, the president of St Pat's Footy Club. Big day up there, and celebrating a lot of history for that club. So we'll catch up with the other Macca, Ian McCallum, at half time.
AFL falls quickly. Giants are out to a 27-point lead over the Crows. Suns still 20 points in front of the Pies.
Okay, two expansion sides doing well there, as it's a tackle there. Camrick lays a nice tackle. Player slow to get up. Penalised. Let's pick up who that is.
Denellen.
It is Jack Denellen. So Ben Camrick. He goes low with the kick. Intercepted there by Jamison House with strength. Thumps it away. Glenorchy player taken. Ball up. 28 and a half minutes gone. Once again, we could probably expect 3 or 4 more minutes with the Blues kicking the 9 goals in this quarter. And the contest falls at the feet of the ruckman. It'll be another ball up.
Very impressive this quarter, the Blues, David. They've moved the ball very efficiently and finished off very well.
Yep, and Glenorchy going to have to do something. This is going to be a massive scoreline if they don't get their act together soon.
How would you approach it going into half-time or as a coach, Max?
As McKercher takes it. We might see what young McKercher does here. It goes out of bounds. Yeah, go, Max.
Yeah, look, you just got to give them some confidence and give them 2 or 3 clear directions as to what you want to do, because it's quite obvious that the game is nearly, if not out of reach already, before half-time. So I'd just be structuring their play around their 3 or 4 key guys at the moment. I know they're going to run out of breath, and you've got to give the others a spell. Got to give them a spell and get others involved. But I'd be looking at their primary ball movers. Get them in there. Get a couple of quick goals on the board to give the younger guys in the team a bit of confidence, because at the moment it's half time and we're just looking at them now walking to their respective huddles. Launceston are up and about on the bounce, and Glenorchy are looking like she's all over.
That was the siren to end the first half there, as Max alluded to. So Launceston take a commanding 87-point lead into the long break here at Windsor Park. 9-goal second term following 7 in the first. 16-4, 100. And Glenorchy didn't register a score in that second term. Had some moments in the first quarter, but a really disappointing quarter for them. Stuck on the 13 points. Running through the goal kickers now, and there's been plenty of them for the Blues. Dylan Riley, he's been the main man. He's got 6 of the 16, 4 in the first and then 2 in the second. And then a couple of multiple goal kickers in Denellen. He's kicked away in each of the quarters. Polferman kicked the first of the game, and he kicked 2 in the first quarter. Braden Pitcher kicked 2 in that second term, so they're the multiple goal kickers. Then we've got singles to McKercher, kicked a lovely goal in that second quarter on the left. Josh Woolley, a long bomb from beyond 50. Musica, similar from a set shot in that second quarter. And Blackberry as well, who was busy to start that term. Probably faded out of it a little bit as the quarter went on, but really set the tone for the Blues in that second term.
Just quickly, the team stats to half-time. The hit-outs, 32-16. The Blues were in front, 15-8 that quarter. was 15-8 in the first quarter as well, around about the same. Clearances, Launceston 28-17. Interesting that Glenorchy shared the clearances that quarter. It was 12 apiece. Inside 50s, 33-10, 16-4 in the second quarter. 12 inside 50 marks now to the Blues to 1. And the free kicks, Glenorchy 12, Launceston 10. So dominating there. We're going to get to a break straight away because we know that Ian McCallum's waiting for us there at St Pat's at half-time to talk about the celebrations there at the 90th anniversary of the start of the club celebration. So we'll cross back to the studio for some messages and we'll have Ian McCallum coming up in a few minutes.
It's not all about books, you know. There's fashion clothes for the fuller figure, oodles of toys and DVDs. At Booked Again, 5A David Street in Newstead, next to the news agency. They also have a huge range of new and old books, so pop in and receive some great discounts on Susie's books. Don't forget, as well as books, there's clothes for the fuller figure, toys and DVDs. Susie has it all. Give yourself plenty of time to have a good look around. It's an amazing shop. Booked Again, 5A David Street, Newstead, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Want to know what's behind the black door at 45 Brisbane Street? It's the Tisane Tea Room. Tired of tea bags? Have a freshly brewed cup of tea with your choice of locally made fresh treats, sweet and savoury. There's a huge choice of teas and coffees with hot chocolate and chais also on offer. There's no rush, it's very relaxing and you'll be well looked after. Open from 10 a.m. Wednesday to Saturdays, dine in, take away or pre-order online via the Skip app. Great tea, great coffee and good value for money. Next door to Specsavers. Tisane Tea Rooms, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by L-Gas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. L-Gas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Welcome back to Windsor Park, and it's half-time. It's a commanding lead to Launceston at the moment. It's 16-4-100, leading Glenorchy 2-1-13. It's a big day of celebrations at St Pat's Footy Club today. Big crowd, no doubt, there for the St Pat's versus OL's game. And celebration of 90 years of the club and also the 1936 Premiership. It's with great pleasure I welcome the president of St Pat's Footy Club, Ian McCallum. G'day, Macca.
Yeah, g'day. How's it going, Ian?
Good, mate. First of all, before we start, what's the score up there?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay.
No, it's not going quite to script. The reserves had a good win, but the senior scores, it's OL 5-10 to us 2-3.
Okay.
So that's 25 points down, which is a bit disappointing, but I mean it won't spoil the day as a whole, though.
Mate, tell us about the day. There's a couple of reasons for the day. As I said, 90 years of the club, but also a celebration of a premiership. And for those that haven't heard the story, tell us a bit about the story of finding the cup, the 1936 Premiership Cup.
Yeah, it's a great story. 6 months ago, there was a lady working in a chip shop down at Mowbray, and her brother is a member up here at St Pat's, and they came across this cup, which is the 1936 Premiership Cup, but they had it in the shop there, selling it for $20. Well, she got onto our man up here, Stephen Howard. We sent somebody down there, and we paid the $20, and here we are with this cup. It was an incredible story.
And what sort of
cleaned it up? It still looks fairly old, but I mean that's all part of the character of it. And as a result of that, we've got some very good media, and I'd say today we've had anywhere between 20 to 25 descendants of the fellows that played in our premiership team. So it's been a great day with that respect, and we've come up with some people have come up with some memorabilia out of the 30s and 40s and even 50s that we've never seen before. So in that respect, it's been a great day.
How did you go about tracking down those descendants of that team?
Good old social media, that was a part of it, but the local media have been very good. Everybody would be familiar with Mick Fontaine. Rick's the media manager for the NTFA. And he's worked, we've worked in conjunction with him. We've had some articles in the paper. We've had Southern Cross News has also been very good. We've gone through there. And there's people who are here today that didn't indicate to us that they were coming, but have just turned up. So it was well spread out, and hence a really good spread of people here.
Now, Mac, it's the 90th year of the club's existence. What other events are going on this year to celebrate that?
Well, we've got a big one. 24th of July is our big function at the country club, and that's looking like 250 to 300 people for a small club like St Pat's. That's enormous. And on that day, we have life members, obviously, but that night we'll be introducing 2 more categories to the football club, one being a Hall of Fame, and from that Hall of Fame, you can then go into the legend category. So we'll be having people into those categories. So that'll be a big part of the function on the 24th.
Okay, and I've just got a picture actually on my phone here. Darren Geard has sent me a picture. He was his grandfather played in the 1936 team. So isn't it great to get that community together to celebrate that premiership so many years later?
He did indeed. Yes. I had a chat with Darren before. Darren was actually the first person when this first came up, this cup, and it was over 6 months ago now. Darren was the first person to contact me, and and explained the tie. So he was up there with some family members today, which was fantastic. And that's what it's all about. It's about having people connect with the footy club.
And mate, how's the club travelling? Obviously, the COVID times, the last year off. How did the club survive that year and thrive into this year?
Look, pretty good, really. We would have liked to have played last year, but because we're on school grounds, naturally enough, some didn't allow in the really heavy COVID period, didn't allow anybody from outside onto school grounds. So consequently, we couldn't play. We spent there 12 months doing renovations and stuff up here. We were fortunate enough to get a government grant. So we, with our club rooms, a lot of renovations. What was interesting though was the number of the turnover of players was incredible. In our first game, that first game that we played, I wasn't so much concerned about whether we'd win or lose, it's just whether we got on the park. We had 14 players in the reserves playing their first game for the club, and 15 in the seniors playing their first game for the club. And after that, they've been recruited over a period of 2 years, of course, but of course we didn't play in 2020. But that was, it's probably the strength of the club. It manages to attract players to the footy club. And look, and we're going to be very competitive this year. I'd be very disappointed if we don't play finals. But I think we're in a group with a group of teams. We beat Scotch last week. I think we're in a group of teams with Scotch, OLs, and the like. Lilydale probably they won the flag last year, and they appear to have got stronger. So there's definitely the team to beat. But as a footy club, they know we're in a good place. And something I announced today, we've signed a memorandum of agreement with the Prospect Junior Football Club. The NTFA will give 2 more women's licences next year. St Pat's will put their hand up for a women's team. And what's also changing with the NTFA in 2022, they'll allow under-18 teams from Division 1, from our Division N. So as a part of that, we've been in conversations with the NTFA and Prospect Juniors for the past 6 months, and it will be our intention to nominate an under-18 team, and that's the first time that we've ever had a junior pathway into our senior club. So we're really excited about that.
That's fantastic, Mac, and I suppose that's taking advantage of a growing area up there, a population area where you're really the only club in that geographical area.
Yeah, that's exactly the situation. And it's obviously the betterment of St Pat's, but also for the betterment of football.
Yep.
A lot of these kids at Prospect, what they do, they'll get to under 16 level. The better ones go to North and Launceston. Some of the others have to feed off and go and find clubs. I know they had lots of approaches from the likes of Hillwood and Bracknell. That's a very long way for all these kids or their parents to travel. So to have an under-18 team that stays in the area, it just simply makes common sense. And I think it's going to be good for footy because I think we all know it's that 16-year-old age group, they're the ones that drop off footy.
Yep.
So this is an opportunity to really strengthen up footy in the area up here.
Absolutely. And Mac, before we let you go, tell us about the Guernsey the players are wearing today.
Yeah, it's a beauty. I'm an old South Melbourne man. They're showing my age. It's the V. So what it is, it's the green jumper, but with the gold V, and that's what they wore in 1935. We've even got the photo that we've got from the grand final team. They're wearing white shorts. So we're actually playing at home wearing white shorts. Which OLs were very supportive with that, so they're wearing their blue shorts. But they're really good-looking jumpers, and I think it's a wonderful gesture. And I think, and the oldies certainly appreciate seeing that jumper again.
And Macca, finally, if people are interested in that 90th anniversary function on the 24th of July, how do they find out more information?
come through the club. It's Tim Russell, which a lot of people know. Timmy Russell is the past president, and Tim Paul. There's two. There's myself. Just simply look us up on mainly Facebook, but just come through any of the club context through the NTFA. But that's going to be a super night. I think it's going to be a 250 to 300 crowd. That'll be the biggest crowd this footy club's ever had together. But we've got people coming from interstate already that have committed to come. So that's going to be a super night.
Fantastic, Macca. Exciting times ahead. Look, thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio on the TSL live stream. All the best. We'll let you get back and enjoy the festivities there.
Get on your Maury. Thanks, mate. All the best.
No worries. That's Ian McCallum there, the president of St Pat's Footy Club. We'll take another break here from Windsor Park. When we come back, we'll set the scene for the second half.
Jim Hughes and Sons Jewellers has something for everyone. They've been serving the local Launceston community for over 60 years, providing special gifts, keepsakes and fine jewellery that will last a lifetime. Get your loved one something to remember this year. Head into Jim Hughes and Sons Jewellers at 11 Quadrant Mall or shop online at jimhughes.com.au. Jim Hughes and Sons Jewellers, something for everyone. A proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
Have you considered how much your property is worth?
Or have you thought about selling or just getting a current market valuation? My name is Yvonne.
And my name is Neil. Together we are Team Hawkins at Harcourts Launceston.
Working under the Harcourts banner collectively for over 25 years, we have the experience, training and knowledge to help you get the results you were looking for.
Call us for a free appraisal today and ask to speak with Team Hawkins. Team Hawkins, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're with the team here for City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5. I'm Dave Moore and Luke Rabarchik, Michael Walker, Dave Gruber, and our two boundary guys we'll get down to in just a moment. But the half-time score here, it's a massive margin in the favour of Launceston at 16-4-100 to 2-1-13. Which one have you got the individual stats there at half-time? Is that you, Barch?
Yeah, it's just some of the stats for the Blues. Polferman, he leads it with 13 disposals. Riley, who's kicked the 6 matches, he's had 12 disposals. Jay Blackburn, quite in that first term, came into it and he's had 11 to half-time. A couple of things I just noticed looking at these stats, Dave. Tackle count, very impressive. Blackberry's had 4, Taylor's had 4, Donald 4, and Music has laid 5 tackles. And the kick-to-handball ratio. Every player that's had more than 5 disposals, they're going at 2 to 3 kicks to 1 handball.
Okay, so, Maxie, sorry, yep.
Can I just give you, especially for the listeners, I just want to give 4 names.
Yep.
Thorpe,
Mitchell,
Harper, Seymour, Hines, and the list could go on. You've got Boyd and those sort of guys.
Jacob Boyd, of course,
Boyd.
yeah.
You've still got 4 or 5 quality guys, players who are...
to come back in.
Oh, well, Thorpe's a 30... Harper's a 30 possession player. Seymour's the same. Hines is the same. Started off the year really well before disappointingly getting rubbed out. Thorpe, a great foil for Riley and his brother Cody up forward. What club's going to stop them?
Yeah, it's
that
hard
was
to see.
My question to you, Max.
Hard to see.
Who do you see as the second, likely to play them in the grand finals at this stage of the season?
The combined side.
There we go.
It's daylight second. No one's going to get near them.
And I think you talk about those experienced players. I think Glenorchy today, in all fairness, have missed it. The likes of Cleary, Josh Arnold, Sammy Rundle. They've got a bit of experience out too as well. We might get down to the boys of the boundary. I can see them. I've got a visual in there in the middle, and I think Rob's got the microphone. What do you got for us, boys? Can't quite hear the second, boys. So maybe let's try it again. Here we go.
How are we going, guys?
Got you now, Rob.
Fantastic. Just picking up where you were talking about with how scary Launceston will be with the ins that they have. The scary thing is you look at the scoreboard, 100 to 13, you might think that they want to take it easy, put the cue in the rack. Absolutely not. Mitch Thorpe's cracking the whip. He reckons the hotter it is, the better these boys are going to go. They're super fit, he tells me. And again, he set some really tough tasks for them to up their work rate. He's not really that happy with what's going on out of the centre square, and he's really put the acid on them. So looking forward to a great third quarter from the Blues. Over to Tony.
Haven't got a lot yet. The Glenorchy's just coming out of the rooms Paul Kennedy, he was going to come over originally, but I don't think so. Look, talking to them, they reckon that he'll just be trying to work on 2 or 3 areas where they can improve their game. Obviously, there's a fair bit there, but he wants the younger guys to get a fair bit of experience out of this. And talking to one of the assistant coaches, he's more of a development sort of coach, so he doesn't rant and rave, just says this is the area that you can really improve in. Let's have a crack at it. Hopefully it'll be a bit more contested this half. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Tony. Just quickly, any breeze down there at all? How are conditions?
Oh, it's not too bad. I would have thought the breeze has probably just gone a little bit towards you, but not by much. A couple of the shots at goal have sort of swung a little bit late. Here's Rob.
If Macca McGee's listening, it's warmer here than it is where he is, guys. Fantastic. You wouldn't get a better day.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rob, and thanks, Tony. Macca. No, Macca. Maxie.
No, Macca's not here today.
No.
It's interesting that Rob mentions that Mitch isn't happy with what's happening out of the middle, but you look at the stats, Leedham's had 19 hit-outs to half-time, so he's giving them plenty of use of the ball. You know, your Premier Ruckman has 19, and I suppose you could call him your backup Ruckman today, the acting captain's had 13. So to say that he's a bit disappointed about what's happening, he's going to be a hard man to please at this rate, young Mitch.
Absolutely. It's hopefully a better contest between the two teams in this second half.
Percentage also, I guess, plays a little bit of a role for Glenorchy as well.
Yep.
They're currently sitting 5th on the ladder, a game behind, say, Clarence in 4th.
Because they will get players back. I mean,
already a big percentage discrepancy. It could take a hit on a day like today.
Which reminds me of the other scores in the TSL. 8-3-51 Clarence to the Tigers 3-5-23.
In the AFL quickly, Dave, Suns, Magpies have narrowed that margin to 4. Giants doing it comfortably over the Crows by 32.
Okay, we're off in the second half here at Windsor Park. Here's Luke Rabarchik for City Park Radio.
Leadham again rose high, won it down. Music, it comes away. He was tackled, got a handball in the direction of Polframan. Bounce wasn't kind. Came back towards the big man in white. He did a little 1-2. Music, it comes in a sec. White just ragdolls him out of the way. And rightfully so, the umpires paid a free kick to Music, the goal kicker from the second quarter. Short ball is dangerous, but it's nicely measured to Polframan. Takes the mark alongside the centre circles. Goes now onto the right. Sends a high ball. Thorpe to come out and launch. Just got under the footy a little bit. Taylor's there in support at ground level. Coming across was Blowfield. He gathered the ball. He was tackled by Miller. And the umpire will ball it up. 45 metres out from Launceston's goal. Every quarter they've been into attack very, very quickly in each of those 3 quarters to date. Thorpe against Meredith. Thorpe won it pretty comfortably. Geard was there. Coming through was Brown, got a hand on it, knocked the ball away from Paul and over the boundary line. 55 metres out now from the Blues goal. Attacking the Blues early in this third term.
Other score I didn't get to, Barch. North Hobart 8-3-51 to Lauderdale 4-3-27.
Leedham and Meredith in the ruck. White to stay down. Leedham won it pretty decisively, but only as far as Camrick. Missing the ball there was Brown on the handball. Going in was House. He's wrapped up at ground level. And we have another stoppage 5 metres in from the boundary line. Leedham, another hit out down to Polfer, and that was nice. He went round the body with a high ball inside forward 50. Morris flew, didn't get a hand on it. Donnellan's there, tapped it towards right. Arriving on the scene, though, was a Glenorchy defender. Max thought it could have been holding the ball.
Made no effort whatsoever, was just happy to go to the ground with the ball in. Very lucky not to give away a free kick, I thought.
Blowfield was outplayed, didn't have a lot of time, but as you say, Max, he was happy just to take it to ground and then hold it in. So we have another stoppage. That ball's one down. Musica has it, feeds a handball back to Polfer and got rid of one, and then he's tackled nicely, dropped the ball. That was clearly holding the footy, and the Magpies will have an opportunity to relieve from their defensive 50.
They certainly will. And it's with Adam Roberts. Thinks about switching. Then goes short up the line here towards Best. He can't take it. Kick inside 50 for the Blues. Riley up before acceptances. Not penalised. Pitcher. Little snap for goal near side. One behind. Only the 5th behind for the Blues there. 16-5, 101 to 2-1-13 as it's cleared out here to Rybelt. He steadies things down. If you just joined us, Dylan Riley has 6 goals to half time. Right now, just pumps it back in quickly. Donnellan front position, spot from behind by Joseph. That might even be a mark to Daniel Joseph, or is it Jack Donnellan? Donnellan's taken the mark. So it fell sort of between them, and somebody did have purchase on the ball, and that was Jack Donnellan. And Bart, tell me how many goals he kicked today?
Yeah, he kicked 2. He's kicked one in each of the quarters.
Yep.
So only he and Riley have been the only 2 players kicked one, at least one in each of the quarters.
Should be able to convert here. He's just left of centre, 20 out. Jack Donnellan. Hush comes over the arena here as he approaches the man on the mark, and Donnellan has kicked his third, and that's Launceston's 17th. First of the second half, 17-5, 107 to 2-1, 13.
Good finish, wasn't it?
Yep.
And it was a really good pack mark. And someone like Jack Donnellan, who had a late start to his season because he was going to go and play somewhere else, and then elected at the last minute, as in literally late January, February, to come back to the club. So he's had to earn his spot again after being in and out last year, and now the type of contested marks and the finishing that's going to keep him in the seniors this year. He was in and out last year, so he's a bit disappointed with himself as to the way the season finished. He did end up with a premiership in the D-League, but...
well, Max, you mentioned those 6 players coming back. Some are going to have to go out, aren't they, inevitably? There might be more injuries, but Jack's got to fight to keep his place back in the middle. That's going to be a secondary baller. Umpire calls the ball back. Throw it up the second time. Margin 94 points. In the ruck there now is young Josh Meredith. Getting away is Geared. Torpedo spiral to half forward. Lots of blues there. The front of the pack though. Chance for Rydbelt. On the left foot towards Daly. Can't quite take the mark. Tuthill wearing him like a glove. Now it's with Dowling, who kicks poorly out of the car park. And it'll be a free kick to Glenorchy, maybe within scoring range. Callan Daly, I think, will have that free kick. In fact, it's Nick Rydbelt.
So they'll be searching for the first score for over
quarter time.
Footy.
Yeah, definitely. Last goal was 20-minute mark of the first quarter. It's not with Rydbelt, it's with Adam Roberts. It's a tough shot. He may come around and snap. He's still about 40 out. Right up against the fence as he starts his approach. Shapes for the drop punt. The direct shot. It's around a little. Sets it towards goal. That's a beautiful shot for goal. Great goal, Adam Roberts. That's a team lifter for Glenorchy early in this third quarter. And as I said, that's their first since the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. So Roberts hits the scoreboard. 3-1-19 Glenorchy, 17-5, 107 Launceston.
We've seen some nice goals kicked, Max, but that was just as good as any, if not the best of the day, really.
Yeah, very fluent action and just guided the ball onto his foot and straight through the middle. So very, very much needed. They need about another 10 or 12 like that.
Well, they've got plenty of time and the conditions are good, but they've got some work to do, the Magpies. But that's a good start and a quality finish indeed for the Magpies to start this third term. So a goal apiece, early going third quarter here at Windsor. Umpire throws it up now. Lead him again. He's got a nice leap. He won that down decisively. Musica coming through. He was taken out of the contest and he's taken a bit of a knock there. Gets to his feet now. Leadham, meanwhile, is slung off the football and Glenorchy emerge via Geared. He goes inside 50, but the kick, the forward in Brown, no, I don't think it was Brown, in fact, sorry, Best, just misread that kick a little bit, went back and the Launceston player came and took the mark. Polferman comes away now. He goes to the outer side. Music is still on his haunches in the middle of the ground from that contest we spoke of moments ago.
Lower leg, I think.
Play goes on. He grabbed at that immediately. They come in with a high ball here to the Blues towards their attacking 50. Smith is there and dangerous at ground level. Lays a tackle now, and he'll ensure the ball is kept in that vicinity for Launceston, 55 to 60 metres out from their goal.
Musica jogging off Barch, so we'll get the boys onto that. That's their first injury of the day to check out.
Good sign. He's on his feet and jogging off, as you said, Dave, but he certainly clutched at that lower leg ankle area immediately. Glenorchy get a clearing kick here, but only as far as, I think it's Dowling taking the ball and comes back inside 50 with a high ball. Riley leads out, won't get to him. Instead, camping in front and taking the mark nicely was Taylor. Took it on his chest in the end, opposed to his opposite number there in Brady Simpson. So Taylor will go back and shoot for goal, 40 metres out, directly in front. Sun getting a little bit low. Shadow starting to lengthen here at this end of the ground. So Taylor approaches the man on the mark now. Kicks from 40. Drop punt on its way is good. That's a nice goal and a nice answer. He has kicked, I think that's his first of the afternoon, Brendan Taylor it is. The second for the term for the Launceston side. So they extend that margin once again. It's out to 94 points, 18-5, 113, loading the Magpies 3-1-19.
Get down to Tony on the boundary and see if he's got any news about Michael Musica.
Rob here, guys. Just keeping a bit of an eye on things. I think he's just copped a little bit of a knock. He's having a little stretch, so I'll give you an update once I've got a bit more news.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, sometimes you can get a kick in the shin and...
just hurts a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. So hopefully that's all it is.
As you say, hope so for his sake, and he's back next week.
Back in the middle of Windsor Park. It's a maximum today of 22.3 degrees so far in Launceston. So magic day as Hodge tracks the ball towards the boundary. Picked up now by Blackberry. He turns. It gets around Wyatt. Little handball over the top. Puts Wright under pressure. Breaks a tackle. Coughs it back up to Wyatt. Tries to thread a handball through traffic to Rybelt. Goes astray. Back to Blackberry, who chips it to Hodge. Acrobatically takes the mark on the left half-forward flank. Miller Hodge. Copped the knock here a couple of weeks ago. Out through concussion. Now kicks inside 50 towards Cody Thorpe, who leads out and takes the mark. On his chest. Looks back to goal. He'll be delivering from just inside the 50. So Cody Thorpe.
Another lovely entry going inside 52, Foz.
Yeah, just great work again by Blackberry. He just works hard. Fortunately, the handball from White was astray, which sort of set things up for Blackberry. Cody Thorpe twirls the ball in his hands. Front of the club rooms. In he comes. Delivers. High ball. Fades to the right. Riley, one hand to it. Knocked through though for a behind. So 18-6, 1-14. Plays 3-1-19 as it's cleared by Daniel Joseph out of defence.
Joseph with a nice longer ball. Found his man, Mark Taken. They come away here via Whitford. Plays on. And this is better from the Magpies, coming out of defence with a little bit more purpose. Spoil creates opportunity at ground level there for Oakley. Coming back inside is the big man there in Webb. Wheels onto the right boot. Elected not to give the handball, and he goes looking for a player there. I think he's found it in... That might be Brown. Bester it is, in fact. Bester on the outer side. They're 50 metres out from goal here, the Magpies, and that was a much more effective transition of the football from one end to the other. He goes with a long ball to the goal square. Nice mark taken at the back by Geard. Rose above the pack and took it in the Dukes beautifully, and he'll kick from the goal line for their second of the term. Really encouraging signs there, Max. That would be what the coach would be looking to see, much more effective ball movement.
Absolutely. It was 4 possessions from coast to coast for them, and we've been calling for it all day, and finally it's happened, and hopefully they can learn something from it, that if they move the ball quickly, they've got the opportunity to kick goals like they just did through Johnny Geard.
Geard finishes that off from the goal line. That's their second of the term, so they're keeping up with the Blues in this quarter. It's 2 goals apiece. Launceston 18-6, 114. Glenorchy 4-1. They've been accurate 25. So still early goings in this term. 10 minutes gone. Looking good. The Magpies, they're doing a nice job, and they'd be pleased with what they've seen here to date, and pleasingly it's been the manner in which they've been able to do that. As Max alluded to, that was a very nice movement from one end to the other and resulted in a goal. No coincidence. And they've got some bigger bodies around the stoppage as well. They've got Wyatt, he's playing in the centre square, and Deegan to contest the ruck. So they've got some big bodies around the football now. Deegan gets it at ground level, fed out a handball, but it's taken by Blackberry. He goes off the left boot. Nice kick out to the advantage of him, finding Donovan, took it in the hands. Plays on immediately once again. Goes spearing ball looking for Ryan. It was just over his head, a little bit too hot. Coming in and mopping up at the back was Meredith. Cooper that was. Took the ball along the boundary line in a fashion that was just enough for the umpire to say, I'll allow that. One behind.
We've got the boys on the boundary. Tony, what do you got for us?
Number 45 for Glenorchy, Patterson. He's done for the day. He's done a groin injury, and he's off for the day apparently. Although he's just walking the boundary, but no, I think he's gone.
So Braden Patterson out. That's bad news for the Pies, as Whitford's got it half back. He plays on. Goes wide. Looking over there for Braden Webb. Clears the contest. Spills out of bounds centre wing.
So again, a long ball out defence. Clear change in this quarter, Foz. Happy to kick with a long ball out defence. And that so far is being rewarded on the scoreboard with a couple of goals.
So boundary throw in. Suns getting away from the Pies again, 57-41 over at the MCG. Beautiful handball from Blackberry to Music, who's back on. He kicks to half forward, just overcooks the kick, might fall out to Casey Brown, shrugs off Blowfield. Handball's back beautifully to Musica, gathers it in one hand, takes a bounce, 40 metres out, centres the ball. I was about to say champagne football, but the pass didn't sort of finish off. Cooper Meredith releases a handball. They clear it out of defence. Straight though to Alec Wright, who's got some time and space. Little chip kick, not great, over the head of Brady Simpson. Blackberry will gather on his wrong side, gets on his left, chips it beautifully to Cody Thorpe, who takes the mark, 25 out, directly in front.
Nice vision, could have blazed away and had a shot there from the pocket, Foz. Lowered the eyes, and then the the finish was just as good as the vision. Hit up Thorpe.
He was on his right. He got around to the left that he had the opportunity to do it. But as you said, he had Thorpe there.
He was on the right angle for where he wanted to kick it, but just turned that little bit more and widened the gap up a bit more for Cody Thorpe to have a direct shot in front, 35 out.
Cody Thorpe for goal. He's missed the second one in this quarter. 18-8-1-16. So Blues were 16-4 at half time, so they've kicked 2 goals 4 in this quarter. So 18-8-1-16 to 4-1-25. Quickly out now to John Geard.
Took that hanger moments ago in the square, Foz. That was a beauty. Geard comes away. They switch the ball this time, and this is better. They move it quickly with the switch. So they go down towards Deegan on the outer wing, but spoiling it nicely there was his opponent, Leadham, who's done a great job all day in the ruck. Forces a boundary throw-in out of side. Inside 50s, 8 to Launceston, 3 to Glenorchy this quarter. Clearances 6 to Launceston, 4 to Glenorchy. We heard the boys on the boundary. Mitch thought wanted to see some better work around the clearances, so they're winning that stat so far this term. Ball in dispute here. Blackberry's been important around those stoppages. They come away with it, the Bombers. Kick forward. Blowfield's there to mop up though for the Pies. Gives the handball back towards Whitford. Intercepting it. I think that's Braden Webb doing some work down there. No, it's Daly in fact. So Daly goes with an underground handball looking for Joseph, but he can only see the ball over the boundary line 30 metres around from his defensive goal. I think Callan Daly might be having a bit of on-ball time. Yes, they've tried to get a few bigger bodies around the ball this quarter, and clearly they've made a few other changes in how they're moving the football as well. Ball is thrown in, comes to the back. Simpson there, his handball was stolen. High kick to the square. Thorpe again takes a nice mark, just too big there for Meredith. Hurried kick forward, the forward playing in front there with a much bigger frame and bigger body. Thorpe held his ground and took a nice mark in the hands. He's only 25 metres out, no angle to speak of, and he'd been looking to put this one through, Max. He would, and whilst as a club and as an individual and as a coach, they'd be disappointed that he hasn't converted those 2 shots he's had. What he has had this quarter is 3 really strong contested marks, which that'll give him the world of confidence, I would have thought. He comes in on this occasion and he makes no mistake. Third time lucky for Cody Thorpe. He has his first of the afternoon. So he's got a goal, as Max said, taking a couple of nice marks this quarter. He's put one on the board. That's the 19th for the home side. They go to 122, and Glenorchy, the 2 goals in this third term, they're 4-1-25. That margin back out towards the ton. How many goal kickers now for the Blues, Butch? Tally them up for us there. 10. 10, that's right. Correct. Yeah. So they've spread it out. Obviously, Riley was dominant in that first quarter, but really since quarter time, Riley's kicked a couple, Pitcher's kicked a couple, Donlan's kicked a couple. And then some singles obviously along the way as well. Massive comeback for Lauderdale. It's only 1 point the difference now. North Hobart 8-4, lead Lauderdale 8-3. And at the Twin Ovals, it's 21 points the difference. 8-3, 51 Clarence, 4-6, 30 the Tigers. In the middle, beautiful bounce down. Groningen wins the tap. Free kick for a hold. It's going to go Glenorchy's way to Callan Daly. As we mentioned, has been swung on the ball. Goes low. Goes well to Rybelt, right half forward. Just quickly in the AFL, Foz, Suns keeping the Pies at bay. They're up by 16. GWS doing it comfortably, 38-point leaders over the Crows. Inside 50, Zach Morris has got it. Sideways handball to Miller. Back now to Woolley, shrugs a tackle on the left foot. Sums up his options and goes sideways to Alec Wright. So working well in defence there, the Blues. So Alec Wright thinks about the switch, now has to play on. Smothered there beautifully by Adam Roberts. Sees the ball out of bounds. Good individual effort there from Roberts. Kicked a lovely goal in this third quarter. 17 minutes gone. Next week, City Park Radio Sport. Should be an interesting contest at Newcastle Stadium. The Northern Bombers, fresh off a big win at Lauderdale against the Tigers, who are in the top 4 at the moment. As Daly tries to get through a tackle from Paul Freeman and Musica. Might have had prior, no, says the umpire. And it'll be a ball up, 55 out. Umpiring's been very good, I think. Foz, I think they've done a terrific job all day, the umps. Absolutely. So, area cleared. Taken here by Webb. We've got a free kick. Kick inside 50. Keeps it low. In fact, that was Webb there. Might have been Geared getting the kick in. Little kick for goal there by Callum Thompson. And that's a goal to Glenorchy. Well done, young man. Callum Thompson there. Took the spillage and converted from just a few metres out. That's the 5th goal to Glenorchy.
That's 3 goals apiece in this quarter. And the first goal today for Callum Thompson.
Put himself in the right spot at the right time then, Foz, and just read the play really well, and got a just reward for some hard work throughout the best part of 3 quarters from young Callum Thompson.
They'd be really pleased with this quarter, I think, the Magpies. 3 goals apiece. Play's been pretty even as well. They're competing hard and they've moved the ball a lot more effectively, so promising signs for them.
That group's 3 inside 50s for 3 goals. Yep, so perfect conversion rate at the moment for the Magpies.
Kicked a couple of good ones when you're slowing them from the boundary. That helps, Foz.
That's right.
Plays restarted. Glenorchy having some time in the ruck now. Got a high ball forward. Oh, boy, crunched in a tackle there was the Glenorchy defender who came up. Taken by 3 opponents, Taylor, Donnellan and the third as well. The result is a ball up, attacking side of the centre square for the Blues. It was one down by Glenorchy, but Daly came on the ball and hurried a kick forward to Roberts. Umpire for some reason said play on, must have been not 15. He was wrapped up immediately as a result, Roberts, and we've got another ball up centre wing. In the ruck we've got Glenorchy and Meredith arrives to compete. Daly's been busy since coming on to the football in this third term. He's not going anywhere there, but certainly giving them a little bit of a lift around the contest, and they've been pretty good, as we've said, the Pies in this quarter. Ball up once more. Glenorchy won it down to the back of the pack. Wright comes over, could have been taken high. Umpire said no. Paul from a later tackle when Rebuilt didn't have the ball. Umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way there of Tuthill, centre wing, for I think a leg. Playing on now is Dowling. Gives over the top by hand to Polframan. Runs to 60. Long ball. High fly required. Riley at the back. Couldn't take the mark. Spoil came. Laying a Shepherd was lead him. Boundary line one out in the end though, and Riley sees the ball over 40 metres around from the Launceston goal.
So Bailey Bester, I think, now on Dylan Riley, and he's kicked 4 in the first, 2 in the second. Hasn't scored a goal in this quarter.
Looks to be a better matchup, Foz.
Absolutely, as the boundary throw in. Deegan takes the ball out of the contest, gets it to Camerick. Under pressure to Wyatt, back to Camerick, tackle from behind. Throw into correct disposal, says the umpire. As it's a play on inside 50, Donnellan for his 4th. If he can get free, he's tackled, should be penalised, and is. Play on now, out they come through Whitford. Handball over the top to Nicholson. Has to backtrack. Tries to find Whitford. Coley McKercher with a bit of pace. Tracking the ball will beat both McKercher and Whitford over the boundary line. Music is still not quite right with that ankle. We saw him go down then, filling it a little bit.
Nicholson looked up the ground then, Foz, and there was nothing but Launceston jumpers. Had to wait until the man that gave the ball ran further afield to try and receive it. So play comes, restarts now, the ball back into play. Outer wing. Magpies take the ball forward, knock it to the advantage of Roberts, and he comes away. Again they kick forward, but again there's no one forward of the football for them. It's into a vacant 50, arriving now the Launceston players, and they have some pressure, but they've got numbers to win out pretty comfortably in the end. Short kick comes out, and that goes to Pitcher. He goes back to the outer wing. That kick is pretty good, and they're away here, the boys down the outer side. Next kick in the chain finds Smith. He can go over the top to Glenorchy, elects to go longer and more direct. Riley coming out, won't get there in the end. Byfield spilt the mark, but had time to regather the football. Kicked it to the outer flank. The big man Deegan takes it, gives it to Meredith. Coming back inside the centre square. Here's an opportunity for the Magpies over the back. Nicholson takes it now. Gives a handball. Football ends with Daly. Runs his 10. Loops it over the top, looking for Webb. Going back with the fight. It was a well-measured kick. And Webb ran onto it and took a nice mark 30 metres out from goal.
Very smart play then by Daly. He could have just bombed away. Yep. He knew there was no one back there, and had the confidence in what Webb could do. So just chipped it out in front of him to the side a little bit. Made it a bit awkward for the Launceston defender, and now we've got a deliberate shot on goal and a good transition. Not mucking around with the ball too much in the middle. A couple of quick hands. Got the ball moving through Daly, and like I said, in the hands of Webb now to finish off the good work from upfield.
Deliberate approach. You can almost feel that he senses the importance of converting some of that good work, and he does just that, Braden Webb. They've had a good term here, Glenorchy. Braden Webb, he's kicked his 2nd of the afternoon. He becomes the first multiple goal kicker for the visiting team. They move along to 6 goals. They've kicked 4 in this third quarter. They're 6-1-37. Doesn't sound great when you say they've narrowed the margin. They have narrowed the margin to 85 points, Foz, trailing the Blues.
Well, it's 3 goals, 4 to 4 goals straight. So they're winning the quarter. Can't do much better than that when you're losing it by the margin they were at half time. So well done to the Pies. And yeah, spot on, Maxie. Daly had the confidence. The best player, one of the best players in the league, Braden Webb, one-on-one. And he's weighted the kick beautifully. Back in the middle of Windsor Park. Josh Meredith in the ruck at the moment against Gronawagon. Camerick gets it towards Wyatt. The big fella's playing on ball roll here. Back to Josh Meredith. Now to Camerick. Here they go again, the Pies. Braden Webb's up and above the sky there, above the Launceston player, but he couldn't quite take the mark. It spills out of bounds. Went just a touch early, did Braden Webb. He had the sit on Jamison House. It's a pretty good battle, that one.
Looking dangerous going forward, the Pies all of a sudden.
Yep. And what are we, the 23-minute mark? So a bit of time left in this quarter yet.
AFL quickly, sorry, fellas. Suns by 22, Giants by 31.
From the boundary throw in. Player tackled a little bit high there. Taken by Pitcher. Dodges out. Kicks quickly, maybe dangerously. Here towards Rybelt and Blackberry. Blackberry showing some class, wins that. Now he's got a player running. That's McKercher. He's got some pace. So is Whitford as he pursues him. McKercher on the wing. Up here towards Smith. Fumbles slightly there against Bailey Bester. Lonnie player tackled. Whitford. His handball smothered. And it might have been penalised there for a throw. A little bit rough, I would have thought. But anyway, poor Josh Whitford has been played a free kick against there. It's going to go to Jake Smith. Man on the mark outside 50. Plays on now. Wheels round. Low kick towards the square towards Thorpe. And Isaac Manson might have been held in the contest. He was. So Isaac Manson in the long sleeves, the number 14, will take the free kick for Glenorchy in the back pocket. Go helicopter.
Goes short again. Wyatt feigns the handball, gives it now to Brown. Brown comes away from his defensive 50 with a nice ball up towards the wing. At the fall of that contest is Roberts. He gives a handball over the top now to Nicholson. He can run, has a little bit of space, goes short. Webb hits up at the pie with the football. Now he goes across the ground. Rebuild on the outer side. Takes it. They're at 75 metres from goal here, the Magpies. Ball in the hands of Rebuild. He goes short looking for a man, but it's cut off nicely there by the defence in, I think that was Miller. He comes away to Paul Freeman. Paul Freeman has the mark at the back edge of the centre square.
Now, brought to you by Elgas. For all locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Straight down to the boys on the boundary.
Thanks, guys. And Maxie Walker, your future as a clairvoyant is 100% confirmed. I can't actually say on air and these hours what was said, but Mitch Thorpe just not happy. Ripped some strips off some individuals, threw some challenges out there to his team this quarter, and really put it to them. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond, but certainly very, very fired up and very demanding. Over to you, Tony.
Right, thanks, and we better get off. Paul was really, really pleased. Said the tackling was great. Bailey was great down on Dylan Riley. He says the composure around the ball is really good this quarter, and they've been working well. He just wants to challenge them, wants them to challenge themselves and find the outlets and just keep going as they did the last quarter.
Thanks, boys. Nearly set to go in this final term. Just quickly, AFL scores. Not a great day for Magpies around the country. They trail the Suns by 35 in the AFL. Crows trailing the Giants by 48 over in Adelaide, so the Giants doing that comfortably. Play back underway for the final time here today. Fourth quarter action from Windsor Park. Laying a nice tackle early on there was Miller. He ensured his opponent there, Nicholson, was going nowhere from the restart. And we have another ball up. Leadham won it down. Ball comes to the back of the pack. I know I take it was right, but it came out the way now there of a dashing Tuthill. He comes away from the back edge of the centre square, sends a long ball inside forward 50, going back, taking a nice mark. I think that might be Dylan Riley. So we mentioned he's had a quiet third term. He's just kicked didn't kick a major, actually missed that one obviously from the square, Max, late in that quarter. But he gives himself an opportunity to put another major on the board here early in this fourth term. He'll shoot for his 7th goal and what will be Launceston's 20th of the afternoon. Comes in now as Riley, 30 metres out, little angle to speak of, makes no mistake, he's got it. The Blues, as Rob alluded to, they're keen to get going in this final term, and they do that nicely. Within a couple of minutes they've goaled via Dylan Riley with his 7th.
Yep, he's had a bit of a quietish third quarter, missed a couple of opportunities, but he's right back on track now as Dylan Riley. 20-10, 130 to 6-1, 37. We had a bit of a breakdown with the stream there towards the end of that quarter, so welcome back. I know the score graphic's not up there, so I'll give the score as much as possible. As I said, it's 130 to 37 at the moment. You listen to City Park Radio, thanks to our sponsors. Brought to you today by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Kick now inside 50 again for Launceston. Little handball to Blackberry from 48. Jay Blackberry, he doesn't miss those. That's another one for the Blues. They've been stung into action by Mitch Thorpe at three-quarter time, and they've responded with 2 quick goals.
Not even 2 minutes going in this final term, Fos, and they've put 2 majors on the board already. They got that margin out to 100, sitting at 99 points at the moment. So as we thought, they weren't happy with that third term in which they only kicked the 3 goals, Launceston, in fact. Glenorchy kicked 4, but they've got 2 in 2 minutes to start this final term. And they're back where they left off in the second.
I suspect one of those challenges that Rob was talking about, what Mitch Thorpe set them was, we want to finish this game off, put a mark on this game as to the quality that we do. We want 10 goals for the quarter.
Go down to face Clarence next week at Blunston, this time next Saturday afternoon. So they'll be keen to finish off well here. Pitcher comes away from the centre square of the high ball, but it's intercepted there, and the kick comes over the top now to the big man for Glenorchy in Wyatt. He has the ball on the outer wing. Looking further afield, Geared presents short. Doesn't go there, goes down the line. And that's not a bad kick, but dropping what was a pretty simple mark in the end was best. In fact, it's out of bounds on the full. So Launceston will have the kick on the outer wing.
Catch some slack bar, it's 100 metres away.
Thanks, Foz. Been a long afternoon if you're a Magpies fan, that is. Kick comes forward now. They take it at the back of the pack. Handball comes over to White, comes back inside. They can come away from their defensive 50, but again, just fiddling around the football a little bit, the Magpies. The result is a hurried kick, and it's ill-directed, cut off. Good tackle, though, applied in the middle of the ground, and it's been rewarded. So they'll have an opportunity to go forward here. I think that's Nicholson. Had Camrick running by. Didn't go there. Goes more direct now in the direction of Webb. Kick falls short. Leadham came across. Brown takes the football now. Over the top to Polframan, and they're away on this occasion, the Blues. Nice ball inside. What can they do from here? Morris has it. Look to go back inside. Now down the line to Gronewegan. He's 80 metres out. Feeds a handball over the top to Pitcher. Inside 50. Around one. He's got pressure from behind. Kick away now. Cross the face into the opposite pocket. Will go out of bounds in front of Musica. And Launceston doing all the attacking in this final term. 2 goals to date, 4 minutes gone.
Inside 50s already, Grew. They'd have at least 5.
3. Yeah, we didn't get those
2 goals,
3 goals.
good return.
15-7 in the third quarter, 48-17 over the day for the Blues, and clearances 42-25 over the day as Thorpe gets the tap out. I think that's Hodge that's been tackled there. He's not escaping the tackle there of Camrick. City Park Radio's at Utah Stadium next week from 5 to 2 for North Launceston versus the Tigers, and then we're at the Eltham Sports Centre for the Tornadoes versus Eltham. As it falls to the back, Donnellan. That's number 4 today, I do believe, for Jack Donnellan.
Kick Wayne every quarter.
He has indeed. So easy as you like. Just had no opposition as he just took the bouncing ball. Bit of a chaos ball. Blackberry once again involved. And 4 goals to Jack Donnellan. I'd say that would be close to a career high, Maxie Walker.
I reckon it would be, absolutely. Can't recall the last time he's kicked more than a couple, so a good return for Jack, 1 in each quarter.
22-10, 142 Launceston. Glenorchy 6-1-37.
They've broken that 100-point mark, Foz, quickly in the AFL.
You said it was a bad day for the Magpies here. Elsewhere?
Well, it's going to be a big story, I think, in the AFL. They're 34 points behind the Suns, 5 minutes into the last quarter.
Oh, dear.
And they are going to be comfortably second last on the ladder, 7 rounds into the AFL season. Play restarts. Taking it out was Leadham. Clean possession. Couldn't get disposal away. Ball comes now to Camrick. He emerges from the centre square with a low ball. Inside 50. Cut off there, though. Gathering the crumb was Thompson. Fed a handball out. Ends up now with Whitford. He went to ground, unfortunately, in the wrong time. Came the way of Wright. He got a hurried ball into the centre of the ground. Musica has Blackberry on the outside. Just feeds a handball out in front of Blackberry to run onto it. Comes away with a little bit of pace from Blowfield. Kicks forward, and that's a nice ball to Riley, but just couldn't complete the mark. Inches inside the boundary line. As a result, we'll have a boundary throw in.
Major possession winners to 3-quarter time, Barch. Jay Blackberry 19, Polframan 19, Musica 15, Riley 14.
They've been efficient with the football. Not massive numbers for the Blues when you look at the scoreboard dominance they've had. They've been very effective going forward. Ball's tossed back in. Falls to Pitcher, and he puts it on a plate out to the leading player there. Coming out is Cody Thorpe, I think that is, that's taken the mark in front of his eyes. 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. Got on the board with 1 in that third quarter, Max.
There's lots of body ink in that forward 50, isn't there, Max? We got Thorpe, Riley, Pitcher.
I've noticed, Dave, just looking at a few of the sides around the competition, you do see a few trends, and clearly Launceston, they like a little bit of ink.
They do. I'll let you call the goal.
So Thorpe comes in. That's assuming he's going to put it through, Foz. In he comes.
True.
Thorpe comes in now, but he does just that. Never in doubt. Right through the middle. He's got his second. Taking some good marks in the second half as Cody Thorpe. That would impress his brother and coach. So they have got their, I think, what is their third for the term.
Yep.
No, in fact, it's their fourth. They've kicked 4 already in this final term. Launceston in quick time. Donovan, Thorpe, that man Riley with 7, as well as Blackberry. And Glenorchy yet to register a score in this final term, so the margin out to 111.
Yep, 4 goals straight. We've only been playing 6.5 minutes as the sun goes behind a cloud here. It's been a beautiful day here in northern Tasmania. The maximum temperature today, 22.3 degrees. Fantastic. Back in the middle, Leadham. Josh Merritt does well. Here they go. Chance to enter inside 50. Low kick there from Rybelt, smothered by Wright. Still goes inside 50. Grooves mark it down. It's wrestled in. It's only their second for the quarter.
Probably one of his first mistakes today, number 2, Nick Rybelt. I think he's been one of their better players all day, really consistent.
Has had a good day. Just like a little bit of a sort of a shortened down Jordan DeGoey. Wears the same number, Max, number 2 for the Magpies. He's been pretty solid in all 4 quarters.
Trying to break free was Dowling. Another ball up.
Don't follow the Magpies, Luke, so Collingwood ones, so I wouldn't have a clue what number their players play.
Big night at Silverdome tonight. I'm off to the Breakers versus the Wildcats. Looking forward to that. And a real bonanza of sport in April and now early May here in Northern Tasmania. A-League, AFL,
State
NBL.
election result tonight, Dave.
Yes, it's all happening as Callan Daly sharks it. Goes for gold as Callan Daly misses to the right. They're second behind. 6-2-38 to 23-10, 148. Just some other three-quarter time stats. The hit-outs, 53. Launceston, Glenorchy, 24. And marks inside 50, the Blues 19 to Glenorchy just 3. Big disparity there.
Kick comes up to the wing. Leadham does well. Gave it to Pitcher. Now to Smith. Looping handball into Blackberry. Got around Blowfield. Blowfield did well. Didn't give up and affected a tackle. But the handball came out to Pitcher. He goes looking for Thorpe at the back. Couldn't take the mark. They're deep into attack now, the Launceston team. 30 metres out from goal. Ball in dispute. Paul Freeman arrives. Lays a forward 50 tackle. That was well done. But Meredith will take what was a hurried kick and they'll take a relieving mark by Meredith. He goes very short to Daly. Takes that centimetres inside the boundary line. Centre wing here, the Magpies. Nice hit up lead from Camrick. Dropped the mark off the chest in the end. He was under pretty close attention there from Tuthill. We've got a boundary throw in right on centre wing broadcast side. Finishing off nicely here, the Magpies. We've got 10 minutes gone in this final term. They've kicked 4 and they've got 23 for the afternoon. So it's been a big day for them. Polferman off the hands of Gronewegan. Kick was smothered. Meredith takes it now. Goes to Daly, who's been busy in the second half. Loops a little ball into the heart of the centre square. Nicholson ran onto it, but Blackberry intercepted. He's got a man over the top now in Woolley. Can take it and go. And he's got Thorpe unopposed. 40 metres out from goal. Runs to 30. Closing Thorpe. Got it. 5th for the term. He's second. He's kicked 3 after half time, Cody Thorpe. And they're putting a gap in them now, are the Blues.
Well, you were critical, Max, in that third quarter. Cody Thorpe missed a few, but since then he's kicked 3 straight.
Absolutely, and it's
a running goal.
And a running goal, and it's a confidence thing as well. Like, he's probably taken 4 or 5 marks now in 1 and a bit quarters of footy, whereas in 2.5 he just couldn't clunk them. So, whatever that message was, Rob, if you're listening over there on the boundary, at 3/4 time from Mitch Thorpe, it's certainly working at the moment, mate. They're running amok.
And let's mention that Braden Patterson, I can see he's got some ice on a leg over there, so he's out for the day. So I suppose we have to be acknowledged that Glenorchy are down a rotation. As we get to Rybelt. Now, Rybelt got a high tackle there. So, Rob, you got a right to reply. What do you got for us?
No, I was just going to echo what you said. I mean, he could not have been any clearer, Mitch Thorpe, in his words, and followed the instructions to a T.
Absolutely. So they're really putting the foot to the floor in this quarter. High tackle on a Glenorchy player here. So Glenorchy matched the Blues in that third quarter, but this last quarter, just a couple of injuries. Rybelt, sideways handball. Here they go. This is Brady Simpson with the ball. Kicks inside 50, geared, got the sit, rises high. Spore from behind, little snap on goals, not bad. And that's another goal to Glenorchy. Just have to wait for the player to appear. It's Adam Roberts. That's his second for the day. The number 13 for Glenorchy. That's a fine snap. Kicked a couple of really good goals today.
That one he kicked from the battery in the third quarter from a set shot was an absolute ripper, Foz. And that was textbook crumbing there, Max, at the front of the pack.
Yeah, it was. It certainly was, Luke. And football's a funny game, isn't it? You take this, disregard the first half when they were 80-plus points down at half-time, and the second half of this game has been a very even, competitive game. So it's just so important in modern-day footy or in any day footy to get a good start, make the most of your opportunities. And we're seeing Glenorchy just being a bit more direct now.
Well, they've moved. We were critical in that first half, weren't we, of how they used the football in the defensive area. They've changed that, and the game's changed as a result.
Yep, absolutely.
Plays restarted here following that goal to Roberts. Polferman took it. He was wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpires paid a free kick here, I think, for incorrect disposal. Just a little bit of a push and shove. Haven't seen much of that this afternoon to date. But Glenorchy will take the free kick, and that's that man Rebuild. So he's been busy in the second half, particularly in the final quarter. Goes with a low ball to Meredith, but went straight through his hands. There to mop up was Camerick. Gave a handball back to Whitford. He's under pressure. Spun around to tackle. Hurried kick inside forward 50. And the mark's paid.
It's Roberts again, I think.
He's 40 metres out from goal. So good couple of minutes here for the Magpies halfway through this final term. Some good pressure around the football. Tackle was rewarded, and that's resulted in a shot at goal. I'd imagine probably right on his distance here. A kick from just inside the 50, directly in front. Goes to 45, kick on its way. Drop punt is just going to be off to the near side. Just made the distance, but threw for one behind. So that's only their third behind of the afternoon. They've been accurate, the Magpies, 7-3-45. Trailing Launceston 24 goals, 10 behinds, 154. Ball's brought back into play. House goes along to the outer side.
Nearly a mark there on the far side to Callum Thompson. Bounces off his chest, and Thompson popped a knock a little while ago. He's been a bit proppy ever since. So the last rays of sunshine here on Windsor Park. Perfect conditions, hardly been a breath of wind all day. As front position Deegan hits it over the top here towards Tuthill, ever reliable. Gets through, runs his full measure, sideways now to Taylor by hand. Taylor, great vision here to Brown. Gee, that's good play by the Blues. Brown ducks around, has options inside 50, and that's a mark. Taken on the far side there in the pocket.
Leadham.
It is Hamish Leadham who's drifted forward.
As you said, was great vision.
Great vision,
But then he turned and went inside quickly, and then he picked a really good option. Had sort of Thorpe, he was covered. Lovely kicked. Impressive footy.
Yep. So they moved that seamlessly from full back. So Hamish Leadham, who hasn't scored a goal today, so I think we counted 10 goal kicks before. This could be the 11th. He's about 30 out, 45-degree angle. Slow, deliberate approach. Hamish Leadham. Umpire works, but I think he's pretty confident he's converted, and he has. So another goal to the Blues. That's their 25th. 25-10, 160 to 7-3-45. And he's been impressive, Maxie. Look, he's a real club man, Hamish Leadham. He had offers from the NTFA. He didn't play a lot of that, and he didn't play a lot of senior footy last year, but he stayed the course, and now he's playing good footy in the seniors.
Yep, absolutely. Rich reserve for his commitment in staying around the club. He's been given the opportunity with young Tim Auckland moving away to South Australia, I think. Yep. And he's taken up the mantle along with Glenorchy as the key ruckman at the footy club.
In the middle, no one can get the effective tap, but sharked by Blackberry. Another clearance to Launceston to half forward. McKercher takes it on the bounce, swings round on the left. Nicely fashioned kick here to Hodge. Skill level of Launceston and just to continue to impress.
Meanwhile, AFL Suns have won that game, Foz. Game over.
There it is. As play on now is Hodge. Pinpoints, music. I just keep saying it, but the foot skills of Launceston. The initial kick by McKercher around the corner to get it to Hodge, and then Hodge just spotted up. Centimetre perfect, to coin a phrase, to Michael Musica.
Poor defensive play then by Glenorchy, though. There was two guys, one either side of Musica, and allowed Hodge to be able to hit him on the chest.
There was more space than there needed to be, really.
Yeah, absolutely. They should have. It wasn't even a contested mark in the end.
Musica, so his second goal of the afternoon. Still a position to lead him. 45 out. 45-degree angle, 25 out. And another goal to Launceston. Michael Musica makes no mistake. That's 26. And that's 7 in this quarter. 26-10, 166 to 7-3-45.
Certainly room for 10 in the quarter. Only 17 minutes in, and they've kicked 7. I think they had, 2 in the first 2 minutes, so they're still peppering those goals, even though Glenorchy have kicked the one and had a bit of play forward. They just haven't been able to convert on the scoreboard in this last quarter.
Yes, they've been very impressive all afternoon, Launceston. And as you mentioned there, Dave, that their skill level, their ball handling is just a little bit of a cut above the opposition in the games that I've seen so far this season. They've been very impressive, and their decision-making going forward is also first class. So they're doing it comfortably now. It's a large margin, 121 points. Dying stages of this match, approaching time on. Play's restarted. Coming away there is White. Gave a little bit of handball back to Camerick. He goes with an outside of the boot, so a check side ball, and that works okay. Found his man there in Best. They'll come forward here. Spearing ball, looking for the leading player. He was taken heavily in that contest. Players collided. Ball came over the back.
It's Callan Daly, was it? Or just going to the other player?
Callan Daly was the one sandwiched in the middle.
Riley Oakley's got the football. So he comes up with the kick now to Oakley. Goes to deep in the pocket. It doesn't give his forwards much of a chance there, Geared. points that out in a polite sort of manner as the ball is spoiled away 30 metres out from goal. Opposite pocket, Magpies in attack. In front of some interested onlookers there, enjoying a lovely Saturday afternoon.
Always popular spot at the can bar there, Luke, at Windsor Park.
Boy, this afternoon, Max, as good as it gets, I would have thought. Ball's brought back into play. Launceston come away. They kick it to the middle of the ground. Musica couldn't take what was a outstretched mark there. Arriving now is Bester. He's taken in a tackle. Paul Freeman, the tackler. And their tackling's been another feature this afternoon, Launceston. They've had plenty of players up laying 5, 6, 7 tackles, which for such a dominant team is also impressive of their hunger and desire. Wyatt almost took the ball away. Miller Hodge came in. He laid a good tackle on Deegan, the big man. Ball's on the deck. Musica's in there. Good to see him running out this quarter after a minor injury in that third.
Handy lead to North Hobart, Barch, down at Skybus Oval, 79-57.
Couple of big results this afternoon. All sorts of footy, Dave.
Massively tight now at Twin Ovals. I think at one stage they led by about 40 points, the Clarence Roos. It's now only 12 points of difference, 10-9 to 8-9.
Tigers coming hard this afternoon at the Twin Ovals like they did last night at the MCG. Meanwhile, back here at Windsor Park, we've had a couple of whistles on play. I think now we might have a 50 as well for maybe just letting the umpire know he didn't agree with that decision. I think Camerick was the player offending there on that occasion. So the ball will be with Blackberry, I think, is running forward with the ball. So
initial free kick was against Rybelt on Blackberry, and I think somebody said something to the umpire, hence the 50.
So I think that play was Camerick. So no one really mans the mark. So Blackberry could have taken another 5 metres. Wyatt arrives on the scene now. He stands basically on the 50. Blackberry goes with a long ball, and again, good vision. He'll be disappointed there, the player going back with the flight of the ball there. I think that might have been
Casey Brown.
Casey Brown it was. Spilt almost a chest mark in the end, 20 metres around from goal in the opposite pocket. So the ball will be tossed back into play. Sun's just about gone. Dying stage, we've got another whistle here. I think this has been picked up by maybe the umpire in the middle of the ground. It's going the way of the home team.
Yep, off the play, just blocked him, I think, and then just sort of put him on the ground when the ruck contest was happening. So, disappointing play there, a bit of undisciplined by.
They'll be disappointed with this term, really, Max. They showed a lot of heart in that third, but they've just sort of run out of a bit of puff here. And I guess in their defence, it's been some quality and a little bit more polish from Launceston. On this occasion, a little bit of ill discipline. Musica has the resultant shot at goal, so he'll kick from 30 metres out, basically directly in front. Max hasn't marked his way in the book yet, but I would think that'd be a pretty safe thing to do, but no, he's a better judge than me.
He's a clairvoyant.
He's a better judge than me, so that was a disappointing miss there from Musica, what would have been his third of the afternoon, but he's put it through for one behind. Extends the margin out now to 122 for Richie Benno.
Great kick in there. It's pinpointed John Geard. Geard goes wide. And Brady Simpson takes the mark. He goes short. Lead-up play there in Oakley. Goes back here towards Wyatt. Back to Oakley. Riley Oakley gets some space. Has Blowfield, who's wanted up from the back line. He takes the mark. Cuppa kicks out from goal. Goes back quickly. Chance here for Brady Simpson. Glenorchy player lands on the ball. Can't escape. So it would be a ball up deep inside the Glenorchy 50. So 7-1 in this quarter. So Launceston building on that massive percentage they've already got. Deegan. Sit down. Chance there for Riley Oakley. Escaping is Brown. Legs, perhaps. That's the way the umpire sees it. So Casey Brown will relieve the pressure from halfback.
Look to play on. The umpire says no, you've got to come back and go over the mark. So Brown will do that now.
Steadying goal to Clarence. They lead by 18 points.
Okay, Handy with the Tigers coming hard. So that'll be a good win for Clarence if they can complete that before they take on Launceston next Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, play goes on. It's on the outer side. Morris has the ball for the Blues. Nice kick. Just over the head of Miller. Stretched but couldn't take the mark. It does well. No, it was Smith, in fact. Did well at ground level. Kept the ball going and then gathered and put a high ball to the top of the square. Taking a nice mark is Riley, 20 metres out directly in front. Strong hands there.
He's the full package. He's got the strong hands in the marking contest. Cat-like on the ground.
It's remarkable to think in, 2019 he walked away from State League footy and was going to go and play at...
he did at Meander Valley there for a while.
Well, we did, yeah. Played 3 or 4 games, but...
Meander Valley Suns, Foz.
Meander Valley Suns.
That's my home area out there at Westbury, so...
There it is.
Okay.
He's kicked it.
He's kicked the goal. So that's his second of this final term, his 8th of the afternoon. He's kicked multiple goals in at least every quarter, except for that third where he didn't get on the board. So 8 goals for Riley, 27 for Launceston.
Yeah, disappointing for the Magpies. The margin just blows out in this last quarter after they fought hard in the third quarter to match the Launceston team on the scoreboard. We've got now to, 128 points. 23-minute mark, so we've probably still got another 7 or so minutes to go of this game.
Right. Can they get to 200, Dave? They're 27 points short of it.
Oh, gee, that's a bit optimistic. Wait and see. As it comes down to Camerick, who's tackled immediately. Battled hard all day has Ben Camerick.
Yeah, he's been one of their better players, I would have thought. Rebuilt, we've mentioned, has been good.
Just reminding you, Max, you've got to start thinking about your votes. I'm sure you are. 3, 2 and 1, yep. Consummate professional you are there with those votes.
Got to get them right when Macca's not about, you know that.
Daly gets it nicely now towards Roberts. Roberts, who's kicked a couple, squares it up to Wyatt. Wyatt has a short option in Rybelt, who drops the easy mark. Taking it off the spillage is Wright. He's tackled by Rybelt. Probably could have released that, but umpire says fair contest. Ball up, front edge of the centre square. Magpies into attack slightly. Leadham wins the tap. Take it out as Polfram, breaks a couple of tackles. Blackberry, little handball. And back on play. Looks like it's going to be a free kick to Blackberry. So Rybelt sort of had that match up a bit today. But he's infringed a couple of times on Jay Blackberry. Try and catch up with Jay post-game in an interview. See how we go. Lovely switch over there towards Dowling. Right foot kicks a beauty to Smith. Dummies the handball. Then goes short, looking for his look-alike in Polfram. Polfram to the pocket. And that's a mark. That's the big fella, Joey Gronewagen, who's drifted forward. And don't think he's on the goal kicking list. He's not.
Hasn't registered a major. Yeah, I'm not sure he's even had a shot.
No. He's played change ruckman today with Leadham. Bit of a 1-2 punch there. Been pretty effective. Now the 25-minute mark of the last quarter. Joey Gronewagen, he loves a goal. Recovered from a serious leg injury. Came back to the Blues last year. Slow approach. Right forward pocket. Joe Gronewagen makes no mistake. He hits the scoreboard. That's 12 goal kickers now for Launceston. 28-11, 179. 7-3-45.
9 in this final term as well, Foz. So after a slower third quarter, they've...
so 7, 9, 3 and 9 over the 4 quarters, yep.
They've been ruthless in this final term, as Rob alluded to at 3/4 time. Mitch thought wanted to see that back.
They're ruthless, Barch, because they've kicked 9 from 10 entries. How's that?
Very efficient.
Pretty impressive. It's 10-6 as far as inside 50s are concerned this quarter.
Oh, well, as we've said, their vision and how they use the ball going forward with their skill, I guess it doesn't surprise you that then that results in goals when you go inside 50.
Late in the last quarter, the Tigers trailing by 18 points. So Clarence took home in that one. And 18 points is the margin also at the 28-minute mark of the last quarter. So it looks like North Hobart and Clarence will win those 2 games. And well done to North Hobart, first win of the season. They were down in the dumps after Anzac Day, but they've come back nicely as Hodge kicks inside 50. It's Gronewagen again, takes the mark. Too far out to score this time, you'd think. Players leading left, right and centre. Kicks to the hot spot. Flyers wanted, and that's a mark. I think it's Musica. No, it's Riley. It's Riley once again.
Took that about third man up in that pack, I think, Foz.
Yeah.
Dylan Riley, 10 last week. Almost a certain 9 this week, and we've got 4 minutes to go. Surely he couldn't kick back-to-back 10s, could he? Wait and see. Let's see about number 9. That's squared away. 9 goals to Dylan Riley. 29-11. 185 to 7-3-45. So I think he kicked 4 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, none in the third, and 3 in the last.
That's right. Finishing off very nicely this game. Now, just getting back, Max, to some of those results early today, we've said that clearly Launceston were the team to beat. Any feeling for the southern sides? We've seen the Tigers, have been okay, but they're going to go down today. Who do you think of the main threat maybe of the southern sides?
Yeah, look, it's probably looking like Clarence at the moment. They've played some really good footy. Lauderdale started the season well, but have slumped a bit in the last couple of weeks. Tigers have certainly improved, so and North Hobart have just got that ongoing issue of having too many talented juniors, and here's Riley for a really beautiful mark. He came from about 3 deep in that time, past the other players in line to take the football, came to the front of the pack and brought down a very nice mark, and he's going to go back and will shoot for his 10th. I called for 200 points a few moments ago, Foz. There are 185 now. This would take them to 191, and Riley will kick for his 10th goal. In he comes. Shot on its way, 35 metres out. Umpire does a fair bit and does a little bit too much. If you're a Launceston fan, he's missed that one, Dylan Riley. One behind. Takes Launceston to 186, 29 goals, 12. 141 point margin over Glenorchy, who are 7-3. They haven't been good going to this northern end of the ground, Glenorchy. They've been good in the first and third terms. Haven't offered a lot in the second and fourth. They bring it back into play here, but Leadham takes a nice mark in front of the pack. 60 metres out from goal, so he'll send it back in once more. Long ball to the square. Flies again required. Mark not taken. Quick snap at goal. Goes higher than it did longer. But the umpire said that's long enough to pay a mark. I think that's ended in the arms of Pitcher. I think that might be. Dylan Riley. It is Dylan Riley again. Sorry. Man of the moment.
So he will shoot now for number 10, as he did moments ago. Goes around the body, but he's put that across the face this time, missing to the far side. So he's missed 2 in a couple of moments there, in what will now be the dying minutes of this game, one would think. We've ticked over 30 minutes gone, 187 to 45. Glenorchy bring it back into play. Leadham flew high in front, brought the ball to ground. Smith takes it, turned back inboard, then went back towards the line, onto the right foot. High ball. Whoa, getting up high was Musica. Landed heavily. He's had a tough day at the office. That's a good smother there. Keeping the ball inside the forward 50. Creates an opportunity, I think, for Musica. Who got to his feet. Blackberry it was, sorry. Blackberry took the ball, went onto the left boot, and that's a lovely finish. He's kicked a couple of nice goals today. In fact, it is his third, Jay Blackberry, and it is the 30th goal for the home team. So they go to 30-13, 193. Margin out to, 138 points, testing by Maths Foz.
148. Can I teach you for that?
148, sorry, there we go. This is leading Glenorchy 7-3.
I coached you footy enough. I taught you maths as well.
No, you didn't. That was Wayne Spradbury, so we'll blame Wayne.
30-13, 193, 7-3, 45. We've ticked over the 30-minute mark, and Jay Blackberry, his snaps at goal have been fantastic. He's having he's in career best form, and he's been in the TSL now for over 10 years. In South Launceston, the Storm, and now the Blues. And he's playing as good a footy as ever. Back in the middle. Leadham wins the tap. Wyatt sharks it. Kicked forward by Camerick. Up here towards Roberts. But taking a good mark over the back is Bowen Pearce. Pearce chips it here towards Paul Freeman, who takes the mark at half back. Not long for Dylan Riley to kick his 10th. They're going to have to move it quickly. In the dying seconds of the game, Tuthill. Beautiful kick up the wing to Smith. There it is. It's all over here at Windsor Park. A thumping victory to the Launceston Football Club. They kicked 11 goals in the last quarter to finish on 30-13, 193, defeating Glenorchy 7-3-45. And we're going to need a little space of time here for Bart for you to collate the goal kickers.
Yes, well, one man obviously stood well above the others in that man, Dylan Riley, kicked 9. Dot Denellen, he had a really good afternoon. He was consistent. He kicked, in fact, the only man to kick a goal in every quarter of the game, ended with 4. And then 3 goals to Blackberry, kicked a couple in that last term. Cody Thorpe came into the game in the second half. He kicked 3 second half goals. And then a couple to Musica, a couple to Braden Pitcher, both in the second term. A couple to Polferman, both in that first quarter. Got them going with a lovely goal from the boundary line. And then singles to Gronewegan in the last. Brendan Taylor in the third. Leadham in the last. Josh Woolley kicked 1. And McCurchy kicked a nice one on the left in the second term. And then for the visitors, Glenorchy, Roberts kicked a couple. Braden Webb kicked a couple. Then singles to Oakley, Geard and Thompson.
Now I can see the boys down there, our boundary riders, thanks for them today too, Rob Soward and Tony Webb. They're down there and they're going to try and get a bit of an interview here with Jay Blackberry, I believe, is their target. So I'll just get the glasses up, and there's a bit of shaking hands going on. I'll quickly go through some stats, and as soon as I see that interview start, I'll cross to them. So hit-outs today, thanks to Dave Gruber, our stats man. Great job as usual. And hit-outs today, 72 hit-outs to Launceston and 30 to Glenorchy. They've taken him aside, I think, Jay Blackberry, and we'll cross down now to Rob Soward, who's got Jay Blackberry with him.
Thanks, guys. I'm just going to cross over to Jay Blackberry for a few words. Jay, obviously great result on the scoreboard. What are your thoughts about today, particularly that third quarter? We're very interested in what you've got to say about that.
Third quarter was frustrating. I think they beat us in that 30-minute period, which is disappointing, really. I don't know, we probably kicked 8 goals and 7 goals in the first, second and last quarter, and unfortunately we let ourselves down after half-time. But overall, we can't be too disappointed, but we can't have them lapses against good teams.
Great point, and I know obviously a terrific team result, but your own game, you worked your way into it and played very well, particularly in that second half against Kingborough. How are you feeling about today? I think 3 goals maybe?
Yeah, it's nice to run around in the middle. Went forward there late, but we're just trying to add some depth. Obviously, Wanzi will come back next week. Miller come back a bit rusty early, but worked into it late. Joey and possibly Fletch to come back later in the year as well. So we've got plenty of depth. It's good to see young Kirch running through there and pitch and giving them some good time. But it's nice when you can run around and get a few kicks. But to finish on the scoreboard as well is also nice.
Terrific. And just one last thought from you before we cross back up to the boys. I was asked to sort of repeat what Mitch said at three-quarter time, and I couldn't. What did you particularly feel and take out of that last quarter?
The effort just rose again. We probably still gave them a goal or two in that quarter that we don't want to let teams score, essentially, but we just need to be harder for longer, and we brought that effort back up again in the last. So we've got to be proud that we were able to flick the switch again and go on with it.
Good on you, Joe. Thanks for joining us, and all the best for the rest of the season, and thanks from the team at City Park Radio.
Thank you.
Good on you.
Thanks, boys. Down the boundary day. Well done. We'll catch you next week. So that's Rob Soward and Tony Webb. Okay, I've got to get to the basketball, so we're going to have a pretty quick wrap-up here. Self-interest always wins. I just want to go through the stats, though. I talked about the hit-outs at clearances today. 53 to Launceston, 33 to Glenorchy, so they sort of followed the same pattern as the hit-outs, really. Inside 50s over the day, 61 to Launceston, 61 entries to 23. In the last quarter, Launceston had 13 entries for 11 goals. Great conversion. Marks inside 50, 30 to Launceston. I don't think I've seen a stat such as that in the time we've been doing these games. 30 over the day to 4 to Glenorchy. Free kicks, 23 to Glenorchy, 19 to Launceston. Thanks to Dave Gruber for those stats. Quick wrap-up, Maxie, and then the 3, 2 and 1.
Yep, great stats, Groove's done a marvellous job again. Firstly, I'll just start with some better players for Glenorchy. Very inconsistent from most of their players throughout the course of a game. There wasn't too many that could hold their head high and say I played 4 good quarters of footy, but I think their number 2, Nick Rebelt, he battled hard and was probably the better player of the day. Darren Wyatt performed okay. Callan Daly popped in and out of the play during the course of the day. Adam Roberts had a bit of a purple patch there up forward in the second half, which was good for them. John Geard, one of the better ones again. Ben Camerick tried hard, as did, I thought, number 34, Brady Simpson, did a pretty good job as well. For Launceston, well, there was 22 players out there today, and I reckon we could give them all a tick to say that they've performed. So apologies to the guys who miss out. Jack Donnellan with his 4 goals. I know his dad's an avid listener. I talk to him regularly of City Park Radio, so you're nurturing him well. Mark, good work today, Jack. I thought Braden Pitcher popped up with a couple as well. Poufman was another good game after following up from his game last week. Thought young Zach Morris in the back line played really well also. Didn't waste too many opportunities. Along with Alec Wright and Jack Tuthill back there as well. They're certainly, they've moved a couple of guys from last year, Jake Smith and so forth, out of defence, and they're starting to build a new back line there. So all is in good hands, I think, in the back line for Launceston. For 3, 2 and 1 today, thought Hamish Leadham was the best big man on the ground for 1 vote, without doubt. The 2 and 3, I've had to toss a coin. I reckon if he kicked the 3 if he kicked that 10th
goal,
he would have got the 3. But I'm going to give him 2. I've got an arrow here between him, the second and the third one. I wasn't quite sure which way it was going to go, so I'm going to go Dylan Riley 2 for his outstanding effort, kicking goals in every quarter but the third and finishing with 9 for the game. And from the general in the middle, it would have been another 30-plus game from Jay Blackberry, and a lot of that was contested ball. Didn't waste his kicks, and also finished his work off with 3 goals as well. So 1 to Leadham, 2 to Riley, and 3 to Blackberry, in a very dominant performance by the Launceston Football Club here today.
Final score was 30-13, 193 to Glenorchy 7-3-45. City Park Radio next week will be at UTAS Stadium for North Launceston versus the Tigers. Final scores in the other 2 games today at Twin Ovals. The final score, pretty close to time there. It was Clarence 76 leading the Tigers 58. And at Skybus Oval, it was North Hobart 79 leading Lauderdale 61. Thanks to our team here today. Thanks, Max.
No worries, Dave. Thank you very much. Enjoy the basketball. See you up there.
See you next week. And Bart, thanks for making the trip up. Fantastic.
My pleasure, Foz. Been a lovely afternoon of footy.
No worries. We'll see you in a few weeks' time. And, of course, you'll be doing a lot of work for us in the back half of the season. Thanks to our boundary riders here, Rob and Tony. Great effort. Thanks to Grooves on the stats. As usual, he's going home now to watch his Hawks. So all the best there, Grooves. Thanks to Sean here on the camera today. Thanks to Ash on the stream. And also a very big thank you to Chris Ball, who was back in the studio today, pushing buttons there and getting us to air. So thank you very much, Chris.
And the Launceston Footy Club for providing the stream as well.
Absolutely, yep. And I hope you enjoyed watching the stream today and listening to it on the radio, or both. But it's a pleasure to bring you here all the action of TSL Footy. We'll see you from 5 to 2 next Saturday. Final score here at Windsor Park. Launceston 30-13, 193. Defeated Glenorchy 7-3-45. Bye for now.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.